First, I'd like to just say thanks for all of Downtown IDOC. I know half of my views from the last one are from you guys, so if you guys could just like and subscribe this time, that would be great. Yeah, that last one went really good, so. All right, this is the Bus Stuff podcast. We all love bus stuff except for Scott. He gave it up and went straight.
If you paid your power bill, it wouldn't be so cold in here.
I actually got the AC on.
Oh, okay.
Because it gets so hot in here with so many bodies, and then with your with your spread eagle shot, it gets real hot.
He's just on the wrong side of menopause. That's why.
Yeah. I don't know. I just wanted to get a podcast together with all the guys that were on the bus and see that side of it. There's some cool stuff. It's pretty mellow, not what people think, but there's some fun stuff, and thought it'd be funny to talk about, especially going on the ladies' runs. The ladies' runs are always the wildest, but I'll just do some introductions. Obviously, I'm Matt Sidwell, and I did 10 years, and I did 5 years on prison bus. Go with you, Caleb.
Caleb Dykes, I did, I think, about 10 years, and then 3 years on the bus, 4 years on the bus.
But you did transport for most of your career.
For like forever, he did.
For most of it, yeah.
You got
Most
a little
of it I
timeout
did.
in there somewhere, but
Yeah,
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I had a little timeout.
We'll talk about that later.
I'm Scott. I did 3 years, and it was 2 years and 8 months on transport.
Not like you're counting at all.
Yeah. Well, it's not very hard to count.
I'm Tommy. I did almost 4 years with IDOC, and then 3 of it on the bus. I actually started with Nations. Nations and I went up in the same academy together, and then I think I left in like the fall of 2020, and then went out of state. So
Sick. Yeah, I took over for you, and you took over for him, right?
Yeah.
And you took over for him.
no, me and
On
him
the
were on
what
the
bus?
same.
Yeah, we were on the same.
We were on the same bus for a little while.
Yeah, because originally I was at ISTC for like, I don't know, what do they call that? The training?
Yeah,
The-
I remember you.
Oh, trial
OIT,
services or whatever. OIT.
Yeah, so I was there, and then I was like a month and a half out of that, and then I think that time they opened transfers to the yard, so I went to the yard and I was like, what do they call that when you go, like, you're just institutional need?
RFM.
Yeah, RFM.
Or,
is
yeah,
what they're
yeah.
called.
So I was doing that, and then I got hooked up with the current sergeant, and we'll get into that guy. And he loved me for some reason, so he just
Talking about
snatched.
Nemo?
Yeah,
Fuck, I love Nemo, dude.
yeah. And he
God rest his
snatched me
soul.
up like within a week and a half of being at the yard, and ever since then I was on transport. So
Did you just start out doing the state stuff or what?
no, originally it started just like town stuff. I think what happened was one gal was like pregnant or something along those lines, and she took paternity leave, and then so I filled in for her, and then just never left. So it started on town, and then moved to solely what's the institutional moves?
That's exactly
South
what it is.
Complex?
Just
Yeah, South
moves.
Complex. Yeah, so then I was just doing solely that after I got my CDL, and then after that I went to the bus.
So you were on the bus first then, out of all of us?
Yeah, well, so he was on transport before me, and then I got on transport when they had those 4 officers that got arrested in like 2017, 2018. Two of those guys were transport dudes. So when they put out the call to fill those, they were only taking whoever had put in for it at the start of the year. And I already had a CDL, so they're just like, you have a CDL, just get your bus endorsement. And then,
Oh, yeah, because you were working the oil fields before.
yeah,
so you
yeah,
just
because I worked
had-
for Halliburton, therefore, beforehand. And then when that opened up, they're like, you have a CDL, just go get your bus endorsement. Because I think it was Sergeant at that time that was running transport.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he picked up me and one other guy. So
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you were saying that you used to buy barrels of ammo. With
I did, yeah. I was in the
Gosh,
oil fields.
what a flex.
It was cool until you ran out. Then you're like, oh, fuck, dude, I got to spend like another $20,000 to get another barrel. And you had to find other guys to split it with. Otherwise, you footed the whole 20. So
Yeah.
it was just too much.
Yeah. Gosh, what a flex. I got barrels of ammo in the
I
garage.
only ever had like a quarter of a barrel.
Yeah.
But
It's still
cool.
How many rounds are in a barrel?
I think it was 80. It's like 80,000 rounds or something.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I'm glad if I have like 500 rounds in my garage and I'll be good.
Yeah, I don't have anywhere near that anymore. I don't even have an AR anymore. So just hunting rifles.
So who started first? You went East Run, right? You were on the East.
Yeah,
So I was dealing with
it was so good. So good.
No. Fuck that.
No, dude, actually the East was probably at that point in time they tell you to expect 16-hour days, both running east and then back west. And then because you had so many stops, right? There were so many counties that you had to stop. And then the individuals that I originally started with, they didn't have any sort of like, hey, let's pick up the pace, or so they say. And so I got on there, and then I don't know. There were some days where it was 15 hours, but there were other days where it was 10. And so realistically, I don't know. I didn't think it was terrible.
Do you guys ever have any issues on your bus?
Just usually with like men and women because they were co-ed buses.
Oh yeah, talking
Yeah.
through the little
Yeah, all the fucking time it seemed like. But
like they were always catcalling each other. People don't understand how nasty the women are.
sometimes the women are worse than the men.
That's what
They're
I'm
way
saying,
more
yeah.
nasty than the men. It's just like, ugh.
Gosh.
I don't know.
You say, especially
saw-
when you had all the women in the back section, and then you're sitting in the officer section, and you're just hearing them talk amongst themselves. You're like,
Right.
Well, on the east side, there was way more women than there was on
Yeah.
the north side. North side, they were always up front, but you always had dudes catcalling from the back, like
Yeah.
nonstop.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me you're out of their
Well, and
league.
the crazy thing, I
Just tell them
remember
they're too old.
once we had
Half those dudes are on the bus for opposite reasons.
right. Once we had, because they'll sometimes throw on some pickups, like throughout so you have your sheet, right, of how many men, how many women, right? So that starts your day of like, okay, women are going in the front, men are going in the back, or vice versa. So then every once in a while, you would have essentially a random pickup that would throw the numbers off. So you would have to basically stop at some random county, get everybody off, and then swap them basically from the back to the front. And that was always a mess because nobody ever listened. So
And for those that like don't know, typically the men would sit in the back, women in the front. There was like a partition between them that had like the holes cut out, so you could still see through, but you couldn't really talk, but you could still yell through it. So those
Yeah.
that don't know,
Yeah, the buses are not what you think of as a prison bus. It's like a Greyhound without any markings on them.
it's not like Fast and Furious was like rolling down the road sideways.
well, I mean, the crazy thing that I thought was that, like, in normal prison buses, they have it segregated to where, like, you have your ADSEG guys that have their own like cubby, right, and then you have, actually chained to the floor seats, and this one is just like free roam. It's crazy
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, like the one that I think Arizona or whatever those Tennessee people that come in with that's their only job is like going across the states, and that's how they are. They sleep on the bus and everything too.
Right.
Sleep on the bus, dude. No.
Yeah, you haven't seen those?
No, I haven't.
It's the same ones that IDOC has, the same
Big MCIs. Yeah.
But instead of like a couple of the seats up front, they have the bunk beds, and then you have one person driving, one person awake, and you can have like two people sleeping or what. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah,
but
that's wild.
yeah, and they have like a microwave on there and everything too. But
That's a trip. We tried to run a microwave on ours, and it kept blowing the fuse every time Tester and I would try and heat something up. Fuse gone. Shocker. So, but the agency that I'm at now, our buses, it's all males. We don't ever transport any women. It's all males. Women, they're like a whole different issue. But like in the front, you got 3 seg cages. So if you have an issue with somebody, you don't just pull over the side of the road and call law enforcement. Like you just put his ass in the cage.
Do you guys run black boxes too?
Yeah, everything's black
see,
box, which I
that's-
think is superior to the whole belly
What's
chain
that
idea.
again?
Black box is so like you're handcuffed, but then you're right over left, and you have a black box that you can't move your hands. You can only like move one hand up or one hand down. You can't do anything else. You're like this full time,
yeah,
and there's almost impossible to slip those things off. So
yeah, the chains we had were interesting, especially when you had to put them around like a big lady.
yeah,
Gosh, I'm telling
you
people,
couldn't put them around a big lady.
Yeah,
They-
hand it around yourself, right?
yeah, it's bad when you got to ask them to move the chain around them because you physically can't get around.
Yeah,
That's bad.
you have to go and get the extender chain.
Yeah,
Those are crazy. I remember I had that one time, and they're like, No, we got to make this work. And the dude's like all the way. We did pregnant belly on him, like all the way in his armpits. He's like up here the whole time. I was like, holy crap, dude! But the biggest legs I've ever seen are on a woman.
Yeah.
Like the cankles on there.
Yeah.
The thankles, thighs
Yeah.
to the ankles.
Give me the big boys. Yeah. It was always funny. You go into the counties and they're like, give me a medium. You're like, which leg, lady? You're like a 3-4X, girl. Then you give them those, and then they're like, all right, give me a 5X. You're like, I'm telling you, you love your commissary, lady.
Yeah.
So let's get into your. I don't know what else to go into. I just want to go into how you got in timeout.
Yeah, Dykes.
Well, yeah, that was a fun time. We had to go pick up a group from. I can't remember. Oh, I know who I was with. Devin, I think. Had to go pick up a group with from parole hearings from the yard. This was when I was doing town at ICC.
Because they had them separate at that
Yep.
time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was too much work for them to come over and do their parole hearings. And you know, of course, it's at the end of the day. It's been a long freaking day. We go over, pull up to the Sallyport, and Sallyport officer's already checking somebody in. So the gate's opening, or already open. So we just slide on in to, you know, chit-chatting. And not even thinking about it. Get in, check everything out. I don't think I didn't get out of the car then. Get up to Unit 7, walk in, and then, you know, walk straight up to visitation to go pick them up, you know, which is, what is that? Probably half mile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Half mile
like a
across
10-minute
it.
walk.
Yeah.
It's a breezeway, yeah.
Passing all these inmates. We're standing there at the back of the visitation door waiting for somebody to open it, and I put my hands on my hips. I'm like, fuck. Like, I puckered a little bit. And at this time, you know, I've only been to Unit 7, and that's about it. So I don't know anything about admin or what that gate right there goes to. And so I start walking back to Unit 7. I'm like, oh, shit. So, and at that time, everybody freaking knows while I'm walking back. Nobody says shit. And
All the officers or the inmates are seeing you. Or who
sure
knows?
Everybody.
inmates,
Everybody
there
was
was
seeing it.
one officer that I know reported seeing it, but didn't say anything until they got back to their unit.
Classic.
Yeah, right. And so,
Probably afraid you're going to shoot you.
they, like,
Probably thought it was a drill.
Yeah.
Doc.
yeah. So I got back to the van, threw it in the glove box, locked it up, locked the van up, and went back and did our thing. So this whole time I'm kind of freaking out, trying to call the ICC captain, ICC warden, you know, trying to hit nip it in the bud before anything happens to me. And yeah, that's about the story of it. After that, I got kicked off for the rest of the year, went to RFM, which
So did you get off the yard without them going on lockdown or anything? Or
I think they were trying to go on lockdown in the middle of it. I think.
You see this random
'Cause I
guy
got-
walking around with a gun.
Yeah, because we got back to Unit 7. I'm like still trying to get a hold of, you know, the captain or warden. And I finally get a hold of the warden or deputy warden because he was over at the yard anyway having a meeting. So he had already heard about it. So yeah, I mean,
What was that conversation, though?
yeah,
Not good.
Yeah.
no, not really. I mean, I explained exactly what freaking happened. I mean, I'm not gonna bullshit it and like it happened. Nothing I could do about it. So
hey, I brought a gun on the yard.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
With
then afterwards, everybody's
Extra mags.
like, question, why didn't he just go to that admin gate? I'm like, I don't know where that freaking gate goes to. I don't know what's beyond that thing. I've never been through it.
And at that point, you probably didn't switch your radios over either.
No.
Yeah.
A lot of people
No,
don't know
'cause-
what channels ISCC, ISCI, Max. They don't know what channels they're
yeah.
on. They're just institutional ones.
Yeah, because usually it was the tower that called in, hey, you got somebody at your back door. So
And then you went R&E for a little bit, right? And then you were back on transport.
I was RFM for a little bit, which was nice because it kind of put me, you know, got me to do some work shit. But
Yeah.
it was kind of I don't know.
I took a gun into the Nampa CRC one time. We were doing the institutional moves or whatever, and it was me and another dude, and we're just standing there in the lobby, just talking to one of the other officers there, and she looks down and she's like, you need to leave. And I was like, why? He's like, you got a gun. I was like, I honestly, like, it didn't click to me. I was like, this isn't a secure facility. Like,
It's not. There's no fence lines.
Right.
There's nothing.
Yeah,
That
And
keeps
you're not
them
even
there.
required to carry.
But yeah, so she's like, you need to go put that back in the bus. And I guess she used to work on transport or whatever too. So,
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
and the guy I was with, he's like, you need to hurry and get on top of this and write yourself up. So I wrote an email, or I called our sergeant. I was like, hey, I took a gun in here, and he's like, fuck, Sid, well, what do you think? I'm like, dude, I don't know. I don't think it was that big of a deal because it's not like a secure facility or whatever, right? Like, I don't know. But then I wrote myself up, and nothing ever came of it. But I've done a lot of stupid stuff with guns since I was on transport.
It's usually where it happens.
Yeah.
On transport.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's bad if you take a gun in when you work in a unit.
Especially on the bus too, because you get in like this like mindset of like go,
Yeah.
right?
Time frames.
Yeah, of like trying to meet, and especially like right before I left, they were starting to push like, okay, we don't want you guys working so much overtime, and so like we always had to meet like certain deadlines, and so you get into like that rhythm. I never had an issue, but you definitely can see how it would.
And a lot of stuff like on the road, you have no choice.
Correct.
Like I know Tester and I were going somewhere with some dude's property, and like that was when they shut down 95 because that boulder rolled off the side of the hill, and we had showed up like 3
by
or 4.
Reagan's?
Oh, I remember
Yeah,
that.
it
Yeah.
showed up. We showed up like 3 minutes after it happened. Like the dust hadn't even settled yet, and we're just like, what's this cloud of smoke from? And then that's when people are walking out. Hey, there's a rock that fell on the road, and we go over and there's like this boulder the size of a house, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
we're not going now. So then we ended up going all the way around through Oregon and Washington, and then back door to Idaho.
How'd you guys turn around?
We had to go all the way back down and then go through Weiser, jump on 84, and then go up through Oregon, and then come up and backdoor into, what was it, Lewis and Clark?
Oh, yeah.
That sideways ramp that takes you up into Lewis.
Did you guys have to get permission to go into another state with inmates?
We
then,
weren't.
or-
No, there was no inmates. It was
Oh.
just this guy's property.
Oh. Oh, you weren't in the bus then.
Yeah, no, it wasn't in the bus. We
I was
had
like, how'd
just
you turn
showed
around?
up.
That would
Yeah,
suck.
well, it was transport related, but we had just showed up right after it happened.
Yeah.
So we literally just turned all the way around, went back. But
Yeah, that's the shit that sucks, man. Was
Yeah.
we were on the road. I remember we were in between Lewiston and Orofino, and we watched a car like go. He fell asleep at the wheel, went into a little embankment, went straight up, and then like landed on his back. It was upside down. Dude just falling asleep at the wheel or something. But like that's the stuff that's scary. It's not like the inmates is scary. It's
Right.
just other people that are driving.
Well, what's nuts is like we hit a deer one time doing like 70.
Oh, is that outside of Weiser?
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah, just outside of Weiser, doing 70.
I think I was with you in that because I smashed my head in the barricade in the back when that happened. I
Yeah.
thought it was Winfrey driving.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I was up front, luckily. And it like messed the bus up, which is sketchy because like, okay, so what happens if a car just veers off and then hammers the bus? Like, is the bus, if a deer does that kind of damage, what's a car gonna do?
that's how I found out there's a spare tire in the front of the bus is because a deer obliterated the front bumper
Yeah.
and there was a spare tire there. I'm like,
Well,
oh,
we tried to
look at
find
that.
we tried to find the deer too, but it like pink mist.
Yeah, it was
So
all of it was
gone.
tangled up around the back axles.
Yeah.
Because right before he hit it, I was like leaning over in that back cage getting something out of my lunchbox, and the next thing I know is my head straight smashes the front windshield. I'm like, oh! And then I realized that we hit something, and then he pulls over. I get out, and there's just like half of a deer's head and the rest of its body mangled around
So
the axles. I'm like, oh, dude.
I hit a turkey outside of Midvale. We were going straight up before you go up the little whatever that grade, and I was like, "Hey Tester, look, there's turkeys on the side of the road." And I was looking, I think I was looking on the right side. I wasn't looking that they were crossing over from the left side over. And as I'm looking over here on the right side, he's like, "Yeah, there's turkeys. There's turkeys." I didn't see that they were crossing the road, and I just nailed one right center bus. This is the turkey. It didn't do anything to the bus, but man,
Yeah.
it's like they were always there at the same exact time during the winter too, going to that one roosting tree.
That so you know that toy that the eyes like pop out and have like the springs on it? That's what the headlights look like on the bus. I think I still have pictures of that actually. That was pretty funny. There's been some sketchy, especially on north south. There's some sketchy times.
Tester and I almost hit a moose up there outside of Coeur d'Alene because it was running out in front of us. I'm like, dude, that's an elk. And he's like, no, it's no elk. That's a moose. And I'm like, oh, well, at the time I didn't hunt, so I didn't know the difference. But yeah, it was huge. It was right out in front of the bus.
Trees falling. 6 inches of snow. We slid off a grade at Orfino, got stuck. Literally had to wait. Were you there on that one? I don't remember.
I don't know. Keep going.
But we basically tried to get up, the steep grade at Orfino. Tried to get up, and then the back just kind of
Oh yeah,
boom,
that's
Yep.
when
and then
Tester went
sat
in the
down.
fence, right?
Yeah, and we had to call a big wrecker, and we
That
sat
must have
there
been after
for.
I left. I don't remember that.
I think so.
That was the irritating part. Is they're like, oh, if you have chains on the bus, then that means you're driving in snow, and you're not supposed to drive in snow. It's like, well, guess what? We still drove in the
Exactly.
fucking snow because you made us drive in the snow.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was frustrating.
Yeah, and they didn't do anything with that road because it was snow day or something for the schools.
Right.
and-
Yeah. Yeah, that was sketchy. Or trees falling down. Almost hit a tree.
Yeah, I remember when we
Right.
did that one run. We
Yeah.
had to go from Orofino. Is that what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
All the way from Orofino to St. Anthony in one day. That was a long day.
Whoa.
There was
Dude, that's a
two-
long day.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one
it was like
nuts.
a 2-night overnight. We went up the first day and stayed in Orofino. We went up empty and then had to take some people from Orofino from the work camp to the other work camp in St. Anthony, and then we stayed overnight and then came back the next morning. But yeah, they had just fallen trees all over in the
All
road.
over.
Wasn't plowed. That stretch. That was like when I first started driving on the bus. That was the sketchiest stretch to me from what's that little city before Orofino, Kamei,
Yeah.
and you got like
Yep.
straight water right here, and you got oncoming traffic over here.
And boulders falling from the side up
Yeah.
here on the hillside. Yeah.
With no guardrails.
Yeah. Oh, dude. And then there's people, we would just like stand right up front, and I'm like, well, this sketches the shit out of me. Midvale wasn't really my town though. I remember we went up one time to go pick up people from Adams County, and we went up empty, and it was me and Hasanovic, and we went in that coffee cabin cafe or whatever it's called, go get some breakfast. We were in the Thomas, so you got the padlock on the outside. I go and I lock it up, and I didn't realize that I left my vest still inside with my keys on it. And he's not a state guy, so he doesn't have state keys. And as soon as I locked it, man, I'm like, oh, fuck.
Let's go get breakfast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I called it in. I always called it in at Weezer, so it was ready to go. So we would just pick it up and go. And I go in there, and I'm like, we're here to pick up our breakfast, and you guys have bolt cutters? And she's like, what? And I was like, the bus is running. I locked my keys inside the bus. And she's like, is there inmates on there? Like, no, it's just empty. She's like, well, the mayor of the city is also the fire chief. I'll give him a call. And so she calls him up, and he's like, yeah, I'll come over. So that was a fun IR I had to write. And then, of course, we got a bunch of challenge coins. They wanted us to go give them out for PR and stuff next time we were up there and everything.
That's wild.
Did you guys ever get yelled at for leaving the? So that we're supposed to leave the bus running.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it was a big day for institutional moves, and so we used one of the MCI buses. We left it out the front of the yard, and I don't remember which lieutenant it was, but basically chewed my ass for leaving the bus running.
Somebody that had no business
Yeah,
chewing out
I-
transport
yeah,
is
I
now
was like-
chewing out transport.
Like,
Yeah.
what?
Checks out.
What do you want me to do? Like, just leave the bus off?
Yeah, you're supposed to keep them running, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's more of a liability if you can't get them to start back up.
Well, not just
The
that, but
MCIs, they almost never start back up sometimes.
it's I think it's the efficiency of it's less efficient to start and stop it than it is to keep it running.
What happened with you in Jerome County when you had to get them a new garage door?
I don't think I remember this.
I
Oh, I
don't
do remember this
know.
one. Yeah. Yeah.
What happened there? Oh, well, the garage door was slow.
Yeah. Yeah. Mechanical failure.
Yeah, I mean, it went up, but then it just stopped right there. So, just kidding. I was a little too quick to jump the gun, and I think I ran into it. I don't remember that too well. That one just kind of.
That was a
Yeah.
fun IR to write then, huh?
I don't remember writing any paperwork on it. I think I just wrote
Oh, I'm sure it was like
I-
a $3,000 repair.
Was
They had
it?
to redo it, yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Because when I hit that horse trailer outside of Midvale, I think I'm still the only person that ever collided with somebody else in the bus. But oh, you didn't hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about
Yeah,
that
I would
one.
say this is news to me.
Yeah, I was like August of the last year I was there, so 24, and I'm driving the stretch back from Council to Boise, and we're going through Midvale, and then there's that grade coming up, and so I'm trying to keep speed before hitting that grade going up, and there's this truck and horse trailer ahead of me, ways up, and then I see the brake lights, and I think they're slowing down, and I thought they were gonna turn right, like a little dirt road on the right. So I'm just keeping my speed up, and then I go around them, and then they start to turn left instead. I didn't even realize that they had their blinker on, but the guy in the passenger said like they had their blinker on. I just didn't see it. So I go to start going around them, and they're turning. I'm like, oh shit! And then I start going off onto the shoulder of the road, and I'm like slamming my brakes, and I'm just like praying I don't hit them, dude. And they make their turn. The truck makes it onto the dirt road, and then the trailer, and then I come to a stop, and I was like, oh, I didn't hit him, and the passenger's like, nah, you hit him. I was like, oh, damn it. Everybody in the back, it's a bus full of inmates, and they're all like, my neck hurts, and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, he was playing on his phone. I wasn't fucking touching my phone for one. And so we get out, and the guy in the back gets out, comes up, and we go talk to them. We're like, you guys okay? Everybody all right? And they're like, yeah, we're good. I didn't know you guys if you hit us or not. We felt a little bump, but we didn't know if that was just a bumpy road or what. And so she's a really cool like cowgirl lady and older lady, and her daughter's with her, and she's like, everybody okay? Yeah, okay. And she goes and looks, and only damage there was she had a weld on the horse trailer on the fender that she had already welded, and they cracked the weld. And she's like, oh, I'll just re-weld this. It's fine. And I was like, you want to do like information or whatever? And I got her information, and she's like, I'm good. If you guys are good, I'd rather you just get these inmates off my property. And I was like,
I love country people.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. So then we just got back on the road. There was like a little scratch on our bumper, nothing crazy. And then we get to Washington County, and they had to go pick up a couple inmates. And then I called the sergeant. I was like, hey, just so you know, I was in a little fender bender, but she's good. We're good. We just kept on going. He's like, did you make a report with the police? And I was like, no, she said she was good, and we were good. Nobody's damaged. He's like, that's not your call to make. This isn't your personal vehicle. You can't make that call. And I was like, I got her information, but she said she was good. So he's like, so I got my ass chewed out on that. But then 2 days later, another guy on the East Run pulled a Curtis and took out the Jerome County garage door.
I told you, dude, that thing runs slow.
So it took off all the pressure from me, because his actually caused like $3,000 worth of damage, and mine was no damage. So it took all of the pressure off.
Usually when it happens like that, when somebody else fucks it up, you're like, oh, but then somebody else does something even worse a few days later.
Yeah.
And then all the pressure's off.
I was like, okay, thank you.
But it's weird that you say that about the buses, because like the public's perceptions, it varies so much. I don't know about you guys, but whenever we were in Lewiston filling up at that gas station in the mornings, there'd be multiple times where Tester and I'd be filling up, and somebody, like, because they have that, Greyhound stop at the same gas station?
Yep.
People would come over with, like, their suitcases trying to get on. I'm like, you don't want to get on this bus, dude. This isn't your bus. And they're like, what are you talking about? How many buses come through here? I'm like, well, I'm assure you that this is not your bus.
That same gas station, we came out, and some, like, tweaked out guy was trying to get in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a home away from home for
like,
some people.
What is going on here? Like, well.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, so I that was not a fun one. And I went off the road one time in Midvale, just like barely, in the Thomas. So yeah, Midvale wasn't my city. They started, Temez I was with, he started calling it Sidville. He's like, this is your town.
I never had anything like that. I just got ISP called on me because some dude said that a motorhome with police lights was trying to pull him over. Because I accidentally flipped on the lights one time without realizing it, and he pulled over. I'm like, oh, that's weird. I'm just driving along. I'm like, oh, the lights are on. Whoops. Turn them off. And then ISP calls us, and he's like, are you trying to pull people over on the bus? I'm like, no. Why? I'm like, the lights were on for a second. He's like, yeah, we got a call that some guy in a motorhome with police lights was trying to pull him over. Like, no, it's not. They were on, but I wasn't trying to pull him over. So.
Wasn't it Galleon that went all the way from Pocatello to Boise with the lights on?
Yeah.
She didn't know?
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Were you on the bus when it happened?
There's no buzzer when that's on. It's just like a little red light that's like down in the corner where you can't see it. And you don't know until people just start pulling over.
Everybody just pulls over for us. It's amazing.
Well, if I remember correctly, the light switch is like right next to another switch that is like a necessity.
Yes.
that you got to hit.
Yeah, but they put those two like within fingertips of each
Right,
other,
yeah.
and if you're not paying attention, it doesn't have like a buzzer that's on. It's
Yeah.
just a little red dot that doesn't say anything.
I think it was after that one. That's when they put the bigger lights in the friggin' dash, so you knew.
Yeah, that way it was like an idiot alarm, like hey
Yep.
dipshit, and your lights are on.
Exactly.
I think I got called in a couple times.
For speeding?
Yeah. I didn't really go. I wasn't speeding.
Scott speeding.
Okay, so there is. I think we had this argument of gross weight 26,000 pounds or what over 5 axles or whatever,
Yeah.
right? So it didn't qualify. So the argument was, does the bus go 80 miles an hour or not? See, I never did that, but for some reason, I don't know what happened, but we got back and I was asked about speed. I was like, no, I don't think so. And the guy I was with apparently was like, oh yeah, he was definitely speeding when that turd nugget was in the back, and he probably asleep or mowing down on some Cheetos or some shit.
Ramen.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
I think I know who you're talking about too. That's why I'm laughing so
that,
hard.
well, it's just
Definitely Cheetos.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that was the only time I actually got talked to. Everything else was like, oh yeah, they called. Were you speeding? No. Okay.
Well, it's still a debate because it doesn't follow half of like the CDL bus rules, and it's not. You don't take it through inspections like you do
Correct,
with
yeah.
like over the road trucking. So therefore, it's not. It's a passenger vehicle. You
I
put
just
passengers
didn't.
on
I
it.
never wanted to be like if we did get in an accident and we were going.
That fault.
Yeah, I just didn't want to be.
The newest bus that they got, it doesn't even have a speedometer that goes past 80. You can go past 80 or something like that, but it doesn't register because it's just like the line. It's not digital.
Good luck getting an MCI past that though, without it breaking down somewhere.
Yeah, no kidding.
But the year that I left, they put governors on all the vehicles because they pulled the records, and there was one person that got some complaints, and then they pulled the records, and it was like a top speed of 96, 97 in the bus.
It wasn't me, was it?
No.
Just kidding. I never went that fast.
Yeah.
That it's funny you said the MCI. There were multiple times where we got stuck in Coeur d'Alene. Like probably once a month, we would be either an hour or 2 hours behind because the bus wouldn't start. Like, and that was the older bus.
The
Yeah, it
agency, the agency that I'm with now, we have 4 MCI buses. 3 of them are from the late '90s, and we're still using them. And one of them is from 2013. The 2013 has a shit ton of problems, and the old buses from the '90s run like a brick shit house, and they'll have old Detroit diesels in them, and they like never stop.
Do you remember what was the old white bus that we had?
The Bluebird?
Yeah.
Bluebird?
Did you guys ever drive that one?
That
Like
one
the
was
old
fun.
one?
The one school bus looking
Yeah.
one. That one was fun.
Well, no. Well,
There's
not
the
the
old
Thomas,
flat
but the
nose.
Bluebird. Yeah,
the flat nose
one.
school bus looking one.
Yeah.
That was just white.
That one
That
was
one
an
was fun to
absolute
drive.
blast. Yeah.
Somebody said that one had been lowered, which doesn't make sense because it's a bus, but it didn't ride as high as all the other buses.
No.
It felt low.
No, and that it was quick off the line.
Yeah, no room for property, but it
No.
drove like a bitch.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
nice.
That one's out of commission because the brakes, they couldn't fix the brakes.
Why
Or
do you
the
need
transmission
brakes?
Or something like that.
What do you need brakes for? Good luck, everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Who was on the bus when you guys had that fight?
Which
Where
one?
they slipped his chains? Was that you?
There's
That
quite
was
a few
me
fights,
and
though.
it was me and Dykes.
Yep.
Oh, and then
That was during the race war kind of thing, wasn't it? The Norteños and Serenos?
no, this one was like I think
Up
it
the-
was two white guys versus some young kid that they had some issues with in county or something like that.
We were moving a bunch
Yeah,
of
but
people out
that
of Seg.
that I mean, you got sprayed that time,
Dude, I'm glad I missed this
or
one.
you
I
you sprayed.
him.
Because I remember that because you and I dropped them off on the bus because you always had somebody sitting on the bus with inmates, and then we went in to ICC, and then it called the fight. We ran out there, and
Yeah, I got the joy of
yeah, that one
being
was
the one sitting on the bus for that.
that one was fun.
That's wild that they
Yeah.
never give you any other options besides spray on
Well,
the
and
bus.
what's
Because like,
crazy-
if that happens on the road, you got to fight, and you're outside of like Orofino like an hour. That means everybody's in that bus for an hour sitting in fucking
Right.
spray.
Well, and what's
and
nuts
they won't give you any other options.
specifically on that one, whoever, I can't remember who was all there, but there was one guy. So I ran back there, you were already back there, and then there was one guy that just sat up front and just watched. We're like,
The
what?
sergeant.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, what are you doing?
Yep.
And these guys were using the chains as like
A weapon.
a weapon.
That's why the
Like,
black
yeah.
box
These
is
are
better than the
fucking
belly
nuts.
chains. You can't slip those fuckers off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was another fight. I think right when COVID first started, when we were doing stuff in laundry. I don't remember if you were there or not.
I don't remember.
Anyway, I didn't have anything on me for some odd reason, and this guy just started teeing off on some SO. And everybody, actually our sergeant was there at that time, and he stood there and called it. And then all the other officers just kind of like backed away, or just kind of, there's one specifically, actually Cheeto Boy, basically backed into a corner out of sight.
Yep.
And I didn't have cuffs on me. And so I'm like yelling for I have this guy like pinned down, and I'm yelling for somebody to give me cuffs. And finally I got him and cuffed him. I'm like, dude, what?
He's hiding out in the corner.
Yeah, like
watching.
we have 6 officers there, and I'm the only one in a use of force. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, doesn't surprise
I
me.
don't think I was there for that one. I remember hearing about it though.
Yeah, that one was.
Yeah.
I used to argue a lot with our sergeant, and I was like, when is lethal force able, or when are we
Never.
able to? Yeah, because I was like, if someone's using their chains as a weapon.
Like a
that
deadly
is-
weapon, if he's got him wrapped around his neck, that
Yeah.
should qualify for deadly force.
Yeah, I was like, is that deadly weapon then? He's like, well, you better know your back target or whatever. And he's like,
Backstop and beyond. Yeah.
Well, he's like, and I get that, but like, say I get a good shot, should I do it then? Is that am I clear? Like, what's our rules of engagement on a bus? Because you're not supposed to do anything while they're in restraints, but if they've slipped their restraints and now that's their weapon, or they're injuring somebody else, like, what are we supposed to do? And I would always just run these scenarios, just try and he's like, well, just follow policy, just follow policy, just follow policy. And I'm like,
But then they don't give you the tools. Let's not put tasers
Like,
on
let's
the
run
bus.
these
That sounds like
scenarios.
somebody looking to promote for sure.
100%.
yeah, I was like, let's run these scenarios. Like, I always was trying to get scenarios, and he's like, well, let's do we'll run these campfire meetings or something. And I was like, okay. And
There was very little training. That was the scenario training, which
Yeah.
Like RBTs, reality-based training.
right,
yeah,
yeah.
there's none of that on there.
yeah,
At least when I was on there, you literally went from doing institutional shit like inside of a pod to, hey, you're on transport doing med trips, and then now you're on the bus, but you
Figure
only
it
have
out.
you only have lethal and OC spray, but we don't
Yeah.
want to spray the bus because then we have to decontaminate the entire bus, and if we're in the middle of nowhere, so it's like your options are really limited to react to any kind of situation. You'd have to use force.
Yeah, we had gas masks on there too, but then
But you couldn't use the
I asked
gas.
people, I
Yeah.
was like, how many do you know how to properly don a gas mask? They're like, no.
Gas
no.
mask from 2001.
yeah.
Well, even if they're old, but if you don't know how to use them,
Yeah.
then what? We have these on there, but
Right.
there's not a training of if you do have to spray and you're in the middle of your run, you still have to continue that run. You would probably have to be driving with a gas mask on.
Which would freak some people out.
Yeah. Public perception about prison bus is already not the best. Running around with a gas mask while
Yeah,
driving
no
might be a little
kidding.
worse.
We kept trying to get tasers for the bus. We were
I
like,
thought at one point they had them because I thought Tester and I had gone through some sort of training for them at some point, but then they just never implemented them.
yeah, I don't know. I think taser would be sweet. I've never been tased, but I'm sure it's a
It's
lot
not
better
fun.
than. I'm sure it's a lot better than spraying OC on a bus.
I'd rather ride the lightning than take Satan's piss in my
Oh,
face
for
again.
sure.
100%.
Especially with the fogger.
Well, because then you got
Foggers are
everybody,
fucking worst.
Yeah.
even
And
the
people
people
like
that had
foggers.
nothing to do with it,
Right.
they're gonna still be hacking along the whole time. You can't just open a window on a bus.
Yeah, because all the air circulates through that. Like if the air intake's right by your seat, and
Yeah.
just you can
Yeah.
spray Febreze into it, that ain't gonna clean it up.
Well,
So,
after Dyke sprayed on it, I mean, you could smell it for
weeks.
a week,
Yeah.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Dude, that had to be after I left because I don't even.
That
I don't
was.
even
It
yeah, I don't
was.
even remember that.
Yeah.
It was.
And it was just a streamer Mark IV.
Yeah.
And you could still, or when COVID first started, we had to do those, the bombs,
Yeah.
the decon
yeah.
bombs. Remember doing that and then having to wear the gas mask to move the bus, if it's within 3 hours or whatever.
And COVID was the final straw for me when I left IDOC and went to where I'm at now. That was the final straw when we were moving all those inmates to the barracks
Yeah.
out there.
Oh,
And
the
then-
Orex.
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
set aside all that funding for hazard pay, and then they moved all those dudes in there, and then provided Golden Corral for the food. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, we don't have a
Oh, yeah,
budget anymore
daily,
for
yeah.
hazard
Oh,
pay." And I'm like,
Exactly.
"Seriously?" So I was like, "Nah, fuck this, I'm out." So I left.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That
I
was the
remember
final
talking to some
straw.
of the inmates. They're like, "Oh, it was the best time ever. We got like all the
Golden Corral double mattresses from the military. Like, yeah, no, I'm out.
yeah, unmonitored phone calls."
Yep.
Oh, that was all the way out like
That was
off
past stage
Simplot.
exit or whatever out
Yeah.
there by what was it, almost a mountain home?
Yeah,
That military
on the
base.
military.
Yeah,
out there.
it was off the Simplot exit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
And
That
everybody was wanting to go there.
yeah.
That was
Inmates and
yeah.
officers.
Well, 'cause they had people just going out there and tossing drugs over the fence and stuff.
Yeah.
Because even the public could still drive through there because you could go through there to get to the
Yeah.
other desert areas.
They did put up a fence, but it doesn't help when their fence is
No.
like 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And then they can go out whenever they want, you know. Yeah, I remember talking to someone. They were like, "Yeah, we were smoking. We were just calling our ladies all the time. There was just had a phone and
well, when we showed up there, when we brought the first busload of inmates, there was one of those like cigarette things where it has a sand on top where you put your cigarette butts out.
Yeah.
We walked by there. There was probably like 2 dozen in there. Probably 2 or 3 minutes later, we walked by. They're all gone.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, would you look at that? Didn't take long.
We were on that first one because that was an all day thing where
It was
we were just
all day.
going back and forth all day.
yeah,
Which actually wasn't bad. I didn't mind like actually having something to do, but there were times where you would just like stage and you would sit there for
hours waiting for
hours.
stuff.
Yeah.
That was like the airport stuff.
Yeah.
We would stage
The airport
forever,
stuff
and then
was
Ada County and
nuts.
BPD would like block off all these roads so all the prison buses could go. I think because we dropped them off,
Yeah.
and they were going to Texas at the time.
Yep.
So we dropped them off, and then it was like, what, a year later they all came back or something like that, or 8 months. So I can't remember the date, but they all came back. And same thing, we just like waited around for 4 or 5 hours, then finally got the go ahead from the airport that they were there. Then they came off in black boxes, and I think we had to switch them all to belly chains or some shit.
Yeah.
So I think now they're sending them to a different state, aren't they?
they're in Arizona.
They're in Arizona now.
I don't know.
Yeah, they just had a news article come out that their like IDOC's budget is thrown off all the state's budget or something like that because they're spending I think $100 a day on like 1,200 inmates just in counties in Idaho that they can't
Yeah.
they don't have houses for.
But that's always been like the way the counties have done it because that's how those small counties stay alive.
Right,
is
but
by
there's
the
always
state.
the,
But there's
the
like 1,200
negotiation
and the
piece.
counties are full, so the counties are like get these guys out of here.
Well, that's why we went to Coeur d'Alene all the time because it was a court issue
Yeah,
that they had to get IDOC inmates out of Coeur d'Alene to the actual intake
Yeah.
center.
yeah. So I think they said there's like 10,000, almost 11,000 inmates in IDOC custody, and 8,000 of them are here, and then 1,200 or something like that is within the counties, and then everybody else is in Arizona.
I think it's funny because like when those guys came back from Texas, like they all had Jordans and like
Yeah, they all had like
all
legitimate
like
stuff.
dope shit, right?
And they came
And
back
then
and
they came back and we took it all, or at least the policy was to take it all, and then that like
I remember they were getting full like Hustler magazines
For
and
sure,
stuff.
yeah.
And then they came back to
Yep.
IDOC like, oh, can't have that.
Yep.
Like,
sorry,
They were
Yep.
getting porn in prison.
yeah, they had like
Yeah.
Hustler,
Really?
Playboy, and I can't remember what the other one was, but yeah, it was like full porno magazines.
Full bush. Wow.
Yeah,
because you'd go through like the property inventory, and I don't know why we got stuck doing that. I haven't.
because we were transport, and
Yeah.
at that time they were already suffering through like staff shortages.
Right.
Because I think that was right before the National Guard started taking over stuff. Because I was gone before the National Guard.
Oh,
shit.
yeah,
I
I
was
was
too.
gone
Okay,
before
I
that
don't
shit
remember that.
happened.
I remember
remember
they'd
reading
come
about
out,
that.
They were like, they'd just be doing the OSP or something, and they'd be vaping out by the buses out there, and I'm like, whatever, dude. I don't care.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Above my pay grade.
Yeah. Yeah, the COVID stuff sucked though, because then we had to start making sure, like, oh, here's your masks while you're on the bus, and then as soon as they got on, they took it off. But
Yeah.
doing temp checks when they got on and everything, and then
We had to do it when they got on and when they got off
Yep.
yeah,
because they had to record it.
Yeah, let's take a bunch of guys that
Yeah.
already don't follow the rules and tell them they have to wear a mask on the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
brilliant.
Hasanovic and I were the first ones to bring back an inmate that had tested positive for COVID.
Did you get 2 weeks off?
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah. They stopped us at the Tower 4 Sally Port. They came out on a golf cart, picked him up, didn't even let us come in with the vehicle because we're patient
Contaminated.
one. Yeah, we were like the first ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we go park back up front. They like field strip our Glocks and everything, put them all out, and spray them down. They took like the bus disinfectant, big ass canister, and put it in our little Ford Fusion and just
Like the bomb. Holy shit.
yeah, sent us home. My wife, she's all like kind of nervous about it. I'm like, honey, I'm just gonna social distance. Golf courses are still open. I'm gonna take one for the team here. And she's
Yeah.
like, you don't have to. It's fine. I was like, no, it's fine.
Nah.
And I think that's when I went golfing with you a bunch because you had your, I think at Lakeview,
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, I'll go to the mountains. I'll check my trail cameras. I just want you guys to be safe. But yeah, they gave us like I got 2 weeks off for that, or 10 days, whatever. And then I was joking around the whole time, and I was like, watch, I'm probably gonna get contaminated around opening day of hunting season. And sure as shit, dude, the week right before, they're like, you're exposed. Someone around you. We need to take the next 5 days off, which was the opening week of hunting season. And then we went out hunting. Yeah, I went out with you and Tester. And then...
I ended up getting probably like a whole month off at some point. Like, not obviously right in a row, but at any point, like, oh yeah, you were around this. Take 10 days off.
Yeah.
10 days off here, 10 days off
I never
there.
got time off.
I didn't either.
From either
Really?
agency during COVID, yeah.
Until I was sick. That was the only time.
I never got COVID either, and I got a bunch of time off. Yeah, that was paid too. It's like they gave you 2 weeks off to start out. Yeah.
Oh, but those tests, like whenever you came back, when they actually started
When
testing
they scratching your brain.
oh my goodness, that was.
I can't believe
And
they
nobody
tried...
was gentle about it either. They're
No.
just like,
Yeah. Yeah, lean back. They're just like, like, gosh.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, you got the rejects in the medical world doing it, so.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. That was a shitty time. They tried bribing you, like, we'll give you 4 hours of vacation time if you get the COVID shot. You're like,
That you can't use.
you're like,
Yeah.
no. Yeah, that's, I don't know.
Really, that's all they were doing was 4 hours if you got the shot.
mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's life changing.
Yeah.
I don't remember them offering that. Maybe I was gone at that point.
Yeah, they should have been like right as they came out, but they were trying to get people to do it, and then said you wouldn't have to get the test every week or whatever, and I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Remember when we had to go and report for that group disturbance?
Oh yeah,
It's not a riot. It's
The
a group
disruption.
disturbance. Yeah.
That's what I was talking about with staging. Dude, we sat there for like 8 hours.
Yeah, we got there at like 6 o'clock at night, and I don't think you started moving them till what, 3 in the morning?
Yeah,
Talking about the
something like that.
ISCC thing.
Yeah.
That was after I was gone, but I saw the videos and the pictures of it. It looks like shit.
The disruption, which
Yeah.
I'm like, they literally sat us right at the outside of the Sally Port, and like we would just fucking sit there. Because I remember our sergeant called me. Was it me, you, and Tester?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we had 2 buses at that point.
I was there too.
But he called me and he was like, "Hey, have you been drinking?" I'm like, "No, why?" He's like, "Okay, I need you to come in." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, I can't tell you. Just, I need you to come in." I'm like,
Secret squirrel stuff.
Okay. Yeah, the dumb, like, oh, secret squirrel. And so it got on the bus, drove over there, and sat there for literally like 8 hours. I took a nap. Legit took a nap. Like, it was the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
The only super secret squirrel stuff I remember doing was when they moved like 20 AKs and 20 Serenos to Orofino at IMSI like in the middle of the night. Because I remember Nemo called me up and he goes, "Hey, we need you to come in at like midnight." Like, oh, okay, cool. We must be doing something interesting. Then we sat outside a max till like 3 in the morning, and they start bringing all these IMSI guys out, like no property, no clothing, just a jumpsuit, and like CERT's bringing them out. So CERT's bringing all these dudes out, and they want to know where they're going. And they're like, "Oh, don't tell them. But as soon as we hit 84 headed north, they're like, "Oh, we're going to Orofino." It's like, yeah, because that's the only like medium minimum
only
prison
yeah.
in
Right.
the north. So everybody's like, "No, you're not going there." It's like, well, we're not going out of state, you retards. Like, we're going north. They know where we're going. They know where all the prisons are.
Yeah.
But that was the only like secret stuff that I ever did, other than
The Texas stuff was pretty.
the Texas stuff was secret, but like the public knew about it. They
Right.
just didn't know when.
Yeah.
They knew these dudes were going out of state. These dudes had no inclination. Like they woke them up, and then CERT
Right.
woke them up at midnight, like, "Hey, motherfuckers, you're moving. No property, no nothing." And then they just forced them to jumpsuits and to chains and on the bus. And then I think CERT had like, they put them all in the back, and then CERT sat in the front, and then a CERT SWAT, because Nimmo couldn't drive the bus yet, so I had to do all the driving. So I can't remember who the CERT sergeant was that sat up front, and then CERT in the back, and then 2 vans full of CERT, and a trooper followed us all the way to Orofino.
Which is so
Yeah.
over the top and unneeded.
Well, then it's like it
But,
gives these guys the feeling like, oh yeah, we're this
Right,
badass
yeah.
that they need all this fucking security to take us up there. But then like 2 or 3 months later, we brought like 9 of those dudes down on a regular bus
Right,
full of fucking
yeah.
everybody else.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's silly.
Yeah.
big
Yeah,
show of force, then to turn around and be like, nope, here you go, we'll just bring you back on a regular bus. Like,
That's a part that I kept bringing up to our sergeant and stuff. I was like, there's only like one route. If somebody wanted to do something, like this is why we need to have more
more options.
more reality based training. Like if someone does approach the bus,
Right.
like what are we gonna do? It's not like it's a secret of what route we take. Like we've taken the
Yeah.
same route for
Well,
years.
they kept saying, "Oh yeah, you guys are gonna do evoc training and all this stuff."
I'm an evoc instructor
I did
now.
do that. That
Like-
was cool.
Yeah.
We finally did that.
You
Oh,
did?
really?
Did you?
Yeah.
I'm an
The last
instructor
year
for
I was
that.
there. That was cool. I remember when we were there, they put the slick tracks on the Tahoe.
Skid
or
car?
something. Yeah.
Skid car
Yeah.
stuff's fun.
That was cool.
I'm actually going to a training event for that in May.
Yeah,
my stage.
we had our group, and then they put it like this obstacle course that you have to go through to end it all, and I just was going reckless on it. I was like, "Fuck it," you know. I'm on the
tires.
bus. It doesn't matter. Yeah, dude, I'm just making sure we're skidding and stuff. And then there was another guy in my group, and he's like taking it all nice and easy and stuff. I'm like, "Bro, you're honestly never gonna get this chance again, dude. Just fucking have fun."
Just go.
Yeah.
He's like, they're gonna yell. It's like, what are they gonna
That's
do?
the
Kick us
point.
out? This is our last run of the day, dude. Just floor it.
So did you
Yeah.
do it at the ISP?
Yeah.
training and everything?
Yeah, it was sweet. Yeah, we were using our own vehicles too, like the transport vehicles. It wasn't just all theirs.
They didn't
the
have a
only
co-
one that they had was the slick track one,
So yeah.
but everything else, like the braking and the hand over hand stuff, like turning fast in circles, like we're taking our transit vans and we're like, dude,
Yeah.
it was crazy.
the
I was-
wheelchair van.
The Explorers and
no,
Durangos are
dude,
fun
we were
to do
taking
that.
like we took one of those like wheelchair, not the wheelchair van, but like
the Dodge or the Dodge
the-
vans.
the Grand
Yeah.
Caravan where the ramp folds
We
out in
took
the
those
back.
two.
Oh, yeah.
We took that one, and we took the bigger one, like the E350s. We were taking those and just taking them quick around the corners. Like every tire on those was screeching,
Bald by the end of the time you're done.
Yes.
Max
Nice.
pressure and send it.
bro. It was so fun. So we did finally get to do that, but
Was that what was the one where the guy escaped out of St. Al's?
Mead.
Oh.
Was that I don't know the
Yeah,
guy's
that's his
name.
name. Mhm.
And was that any transport officers or was that a
It's all institution staff, I think.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
institution.
Yeah,
stuff.
because I know when that happened, my coworker's wife is a nurse, and she's like, "Hey, there was some shooting at the downtown Boise one, and like 3 IDOC guys got shot." I was like, "Oh," so I started texting the people I knew that still worked there on transport, and like, "Yeah, it wasn't us." So it's like maybe it was Ada County, and then it wasn't until later in the day when I was on a trip, and one guy showed me the full video, and that was a trip watching that whole scene like unfold.
Oh, that's crazy.
But
Yeah, I never got to see the video, but I mean, I definitely heard from it, and everything changed after that. And that's the unfortunate part about a lot of things is that policy gets written in blood.
yeah,
It's a lot of reactive stuff than proactive. It was like that day, like all of a sudden we started taking 2 armed officers for every close custody person and
Should both be
chase
armed
chase
all the time.
vehicle and yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. It all comes down to like the training,
yeah.
right? Like, if you can't pass the training, you shouldn't be doing that job.
Well, like, so, because I think the other one was Up an Hour, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, because I dealt with Up an Hour in SEG when I first got off like trial services.
That's the craziest thing to me that dude just ruined his life. He was already out.
Yeah, well, he was out, and then my last few like weeks at IDOC, he came back on a rider. And I'm like, Up an Hour, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I got caught up in some shit, dude, but I'm going to be good. I'm going to get out. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I see him on the news. I'm like, oh, you were not good.
Yeah.
You did not stay good.
Yeah. Plot twist.
Yeah. I was like, oh, life-changing.
Yeah, that was a crazy thing, man. I interviewed one of the guys that got shot. He was on the podcast, and gosh, like I can't imagine what that would have been like going through that. You know?
That's wild because that's the stuff you think about, but you never like expect to become reality. And especially for those guys, because those guys aren't in it like day to day like we were.
Right.
Well, we were more bus stuff, not necessarily town. But you get so complacent. I mean, in the video, those 3 guys had their back turned to where he came from. Because, I mean, you don't think that you're just taking an inmate back out to the fucking van. You don't think some dude's going to run up behind you and start shooting at you. But all 3 of them were facing the van. Not one of them was turned around watching, like, surroundings or anything. But it's also, like, 1 or 2 in the morning?
or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
They're not expecting some dude to run up out of the dark. So,
Yeah.
but I think going forward, it would behoove them to do, like, RBTs, like reality-based training with
For
sim
sure.
guns and come up with scenarios like that. 'Cause,
Were they wearing vests or not?
I
There
think
was
one
one
guy
out of 3.
was, because I remember watching the video where he's like trying to get the vest off of him, and you could see like the pool starting to pull out, but you could see him trying to like get his vest off. And I'm assuming call his wife or dial somebody because he's laying on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. That's the thing I kept trying to push for was, like, say we're at a stoplight in Coeur d'Alene or something, like, that, or in Riggins or somewhere that's really remote, and you have to take only one
Yeah.
route. That's a pinch point.
There's so many pinch points on 95 through so many different towns where there's no exit out.
Yeah, and there's no service.
No.
So it's like if
No
you really
surprise.
wanted to do something, you definitely could. And like even if we had some kind of a training where you're like sitting in a driver's seat and you had to pull your weapon and just shoot out or something, obviously you wouldn't do it inside of the vehicle unless well, that'd be cool if they did. But
You got to do it sideways though.
yeah,
Yeah, you
They
can't
actually-
put it out the window unless it's sideways. Whoop, out
they
sideways.
actually did do some training like that. I didn't get to be a part of it because I was on cert, and they just said I already got training. But they're like, they did like rolling out of the vehicle and then shooting over the hood or something, and one of the drivers shot the vehicle. Like,
Of course.
yeah, I'll tell you guys later who it is. I don't want to do it on here, but it's funny. You guys all know him. But yeah. So they did start it, but that was after the shooting. So hopefully they kept on. I never asked again, but yeah, I always thought it'd be cool because you have the guy that's in the back seat, right? And he's got the gun, but how often do you ever train on like
Right.
if there's a problem up front, how are you gonna approach the 'Cause I would ask our sergeant, I was like, what's the policy? What's the point of that guy in the back that's got the gun? Is can he shoot, like open his window in the back and shoot if he has to, or like and he's like, just read your
Right.
policy. I was like, bro,
Policy doesn't tell you what to do.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, zero interpretation of it.
yeah,
But-
give us like I guess I don't know. Like
That was always my thought is that like if I'm in the back and somebody slips his chains off and starts like wraps around the dude's neck and is choking him out, like I'm going to use deadly force because that guy's actively trying to end that dude's life. Like to hell with policy. Policy states you use it to prevent loss of life and serious property damage. Like he's choking the dude right out. Like I'm not going to wait for them to pull over the bus, de-arm, and then come all the way through 2 sets of doors all the way to the back of the bus. And who knows if it's a trap or not. Like they're just doing this to get officers back in here. And there's like 9 other dudes waiting unrestrained.
yeah.
So
Yeah, that was always the thing too. They came up like, well, what if it's just a trap to get you guys back there? I'm like, well, yeah,
read your policy.
yeah, get a shotgun.
Yeah.
Feel like Starship Troopers. Would you like to know more? Read your policy.
Yeah, it was. I loved being on the bus though. I think that was one of the. I definitely would not have been an IDOC as long as I was if I didn't get on the bus.
Transport made that job fun.
Yeah,
I would not have stayed inside for that pay for that long if I wasn't on transport.
yeah, it was the best gig. You were allowed you had sergeant hours with officer pay and paid holidays. It was sweet.
We didn't get extra pay. I don't remember.
No, we got CDL differential, didn't we?
No.
No, we didn't. I thought we got CDL.
I don't think
differential.
so.
Per diem is what kicked in then.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking. Per diem.
yeah. Which we kept trying to push for. We're like, we should get some kind of a hazard pay for having a CDL, like especially in the winter conditions.
Oh, for sure.
Gosh, that was such a butthole pucker, dude. The first time that we had to drive Old Highway 7 between Grangeville to Orofino, and it's just wide out. You can't see any lines on the road.
But
Bro.
you're not supposed to be driving in the snow. That's why I don't put chains on the bus. You guys know better than that.
So dumb.
Yeah, because then you got like the wind blowing, and then there's just nothing on the road. You're like, I hope I'm still on the road, brother.
Well, even coming down from Cottonwood, like in the
Yeah.
and it was NICI, all those twists and turns. Like if it wasn't cleared, like you're screwed if that sun hasn't hit that bank and you're already going 15, 20 miles an hour and you can't stop, right off.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is like they'll just send like new people up, like brand new CDL drivers. Okay, go up to Orofino. It's a whiteout blizzard. Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the guy that was on my run, that was his first time ever going north because everything else he had was going east. And
East can get pretty hairy, actually.
yeah, but at least they have like more
Wind
plows
on that
and,
side.
The wind is nuts. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but he handled it pretty good. But I think it's even worse being in the passenger seat, not having any control. You're
sure.
just looking, you're like, oh gosh,
Yeah.
I'm putting my seatbelt
Yeah.
on. I'm
Become
just-
religious real quick. Oh.
Yeah.
But now I can't ever go past a state trooper without thinking, oh, state bowl. Every single time. Every single time I see a trooper, no matter what state, thanks to him.
Or every time we would go through, what's that town that's got the college going up to Coeur d'Alene?
Lewis and Clark? Or
Moscow.
Moscow.
Yeah.
Moscow.
Yeah.
Talk about splitting out like green fireworks.
I still use the term splitting
Yeah.
like green firewood just because I can never get that the way he described it out of my head. Even Nemo started saying that afterwards. God rest his soul. I love Nemo. I miss that fucker.
I loved working with Jerry the most. It was
Does
some
he
of the
still
most
work out there? Or is he retired?
No, he's out.
Oh, that's
It
good.
was some of the most frustrating and some of the funniest times ever because that dude just had no filter.
Sleepy Jerry
Yeah. I remember
would
one
pass
time.
out in the driver's seat at a stoplight.
Yeah, I have so many pictures on my phone of him just sleeping. I was gonna make a calendar one time, and it was just gonna be all Beat Sleepy Jerry stuff. And I was gonna give it to him. I never did, but I still got the plethora of pictures. But I remember one time we took this dude. It was on a town run to the dick doctor with a urologist, right? And Jerry's just on his phone, and he never had the volume turned down or anything. And this dude pulls his pants down for the doctor to check, and Jerry's over there just looking like his phone's down, but he's just on it. And then Jerry always liked to screenshot stuff, and his volume was up, so it makes the capture sound like he's taking a picture. Dude's got just butt ass naked. He's like, I look over at Jerry. I'm like, and then we get it out, or the doctor leaves. I'm Jerry. You know what that just sounded like? He's like, I don't even know what you're talking about, Matt. Like, you just sounded like you just took a picture of him while he was naked. He's like, no one else thought that. Stop. You just got perverted mind. Like, there's nothing else you can think of at that point.
When you send, he would also listen to his phone at like high volume, right?
Yeah.
And you send him that used to be that TikTok or Instagram reel that would be like the porn sounds.
Oh, yeah. I was like,
You sent him one
listen
of
to
those.
this crazy sound of like when
Yeah.
the water crashes or whatever.
Right.
He's like, just turns it
And
up.
it's just some chick moaning. So he's sitting in the office and it goes off and he's like, oh.
Yeah. Jerry doesn't like just get out of it. He just like turns the volume down really quick instead of like just swiping away. And
I have to listen to this to completion.
Yeah, he's just this chick just moaning away. And then our starts like, what if you would have opened that in the middle of a doctor's office? And I was like, that would have been hilarious. Do you guys remember when COVID hit and I sent Jerry that thing about the all the liquor stores shutting down? So there was this meme. It was like this little text joking thing, and it was like Governor Little shutting down all of the liquor stores to help prevent COVID-19 from spreading. Check the story here, and then there was a link, and you would click on it, and it would just open up. There's this big black dude, and his dick's just hanging out, right? So I sent that to a bunch of people. Like, oh, this is funny. I sent it to Jerry, and it was like on a Friday, and that Monday comes in. And he's like, "You're a real dick," and I was like, "What?" And he's like, "I seen that text message you sent me, and so I went out to the liquor store. I bought 3 gallons of vodka and 14 bottles of wine." And because I didn't want to be without for the next few months. I didn't know how long this thing would be. And my girlfriend was like, "What'd you buy all this liquor for?" He's like, "I got this text message that said that the liquor stores are going to shut down." And so I went out and stocked up. She's like, "I'd never seen anything about this. Do you open up the link and like read the article?" And he's like, "No, I'll do that." I was like, "God damn it!" So I got him twice. He got the big old black dick too. And then the funny part was like the next year I got him a coffee mug because he was always drinking coffee, and so I got him a coffee mug for the office because he was always stealing everybody else's.
Yeah.
You know. And so I got him his own, and it was one of those that once the coffee came in, it revealed the picture, and it was just that big black dude.
That's so good.
And he was so like against gay stuff, and so it was the funniest.
You're right. He would steal everybody else's cup because I had I brought in my coffee cup and it said "World's Best Boss" on it, and then on the like when you took a drink, it was the middle finger, and so every time I was in the sergeant's office and had a cup of coffee, it'd be pointing where it needs to be pointed, and then go from there. But every time I came in, Jerry always had my fucking coffee cup. I'm like, dude,
dirty.
what is going on?
Yep.
Yeah, it was fun working with that dude though. It sucked when we got separated. It was chill though.
Can't imagine why.
Yeah. I know. No, he got mad because I got the North Run and then he didn't get it. So
He was on the North Run for like 15 years,
Yeah.
wasn't he? Yeah, he was on there for like forever.
Yeah,
and then
until he
kicked
got
off.
beat up by a Honeybee.
Oh yeah, when he's backing up the bus and ran into a shed. Must have been a hell of a bee, dude.
It was a fucking bee, I swear.
We don't need that shed anymore, anyways.
No.
It's still there.
That thing smelled like pig urine.
What was all the DEF they had in that
Yeah.
building?
Which one?
Well, they had the bus shed.
Oh,
That
And
like
they
murder
always-
shack they had out back at the transport pad.
mm-hmm.
They kept all the chemicals and washing it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All the extra black gloves.
I love butt maintenance days.
But
Butt maintenance.
Yeah. Did you guys ever go inside the Pocatello? Like actually inside
Yeah.
and
I never went inside, just their intake center,
No, we-
just like where you picked them up at. And even that was sketchy enough to make me never want to go inside.
I think we went a couple times into like their gym. They had like a
Yeah.
gym.
We did some big moves.
Yeah.
Caleb's what you call prison hot when you took the women.
Shit.
You ever get catcalled by a girl? It got awkward.
No.
I was like, oh well.
Made me feel confused.
I remember telling my
More
wife.
than you already are.
Yeah, 100%.
I remember just joking with my wife, and I was like, "Hey, just so you know, I got options if you don't treat me well." And she was like, "There goes your life. You're gonna get."
Just wait for him to get out. You
they
got to
have
wait
that-
1 calendar year.
They have
Not that I would know policy on that, but
right. They have that
Not like
TikTok
you had a
page.
file.
Have you seen that TikTok page where they post like what's the JPay?
it was inmate pen
yeah.
pal seeking friendship
yeah,
or
so
whatever.
there's an actual TikTok page.
There's
where
a Facebook
people-
page with
oh,
them too.
Really?
Yeah, where
Yeah.
like their homies or whatever will post a picture of them and be like not getting out till 2027. There was one chick that was on there that was like not getting out till 2041. I'm like, oh dude, what did you do?
No,
like,
this one's actually like videos of them
Yeah,
at,
like
at
the
the
JPay videos.
with the
Oh.
JPay
Yeah.
videos.
I haven't seen the videos on it.
Yeah.
I don't have a TikTok, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, they're like, "Hit me up if you want to talk."
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Rough.
boys and girls. Like, dang. Yeah, look it up.
They're just trying to get money on their books.
Oh yeah. I remember talking to inmates on transport all the time, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm talking to like 10 different chicks. They're all sending me money," and I'm like, "You're probably making more money than I
Yeah,
am right
no
now,
shit.
They
brother."
probably are. When COVID first kicked off, they canceled all like the state stuff, like all the bus runs, and I got stuck in like SBWCC for like 5 days, which was a fucking nightmare. And then we only did like a handful of women runs that I can ever remember, and it was like myself, Putnam, and I want to say Galleon, and then myself, Pace, and Galleon. And then but nothing. It was just a bus full of women, which was the loudest fucking bus. But I never had any issues at all, like on any one of those female runs, just because the two female officers kept everything in check. I just drove the bus.
I never had any issues with any females.
They were
only-
just loud.
They're
Yeah.
loud.
The loudest ones ever.
Loud and nasty. But the only time I ever had issues with females was when you introduced incarcerated males at the same time. That was the only time the issues arose out of shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Galleon and I took this whole bus down to Pocatello, and they would not stop singing. I put on a Shania Twain song for some reason. It just came on, and
Bad
they
move.
just went a cappella, dude. She turned off the music. They just kept singing and everything. She slammed the bus so freaking hard. we were actually in the city of Pocatello, and she slammed. And this one chick, bless her heart, her chains got stuck in the bus, like in the seat, and we had to bolt cut her out. She did not snitch on us at all. She's like that. She said, she's like, that car just came out of nowhere, huh? And we're like, bless your heart, lady. And she wasn't even the one singing. She was not a snitch or nothing. I was like, that's a good chick.
I've seen the floppy titties on the bus. I don't think I ever want to see any more of those. Chicks stand up and turn around to the guys and like do their best to like lift up their chains and pop their shirt open, and you're like, oh, dude, like 2 fucking bags of soup hanging there. It's like, jeez, dude, it did look like plastic bags full of soup, and I'm like, the fuck is that? So thank God I don't have to deal with that anymore.
Did you ever take any transgenders on your bus? I had one crazy one that was like, we picked up from Jerome County.
Dykes and I had a couple, but go ahead.
I started doing a strip out on this person. It was it said going to ISCI, so I assumed male, right? So I just started doing it, and then takes off the shirt, and then I was like, you gotta do the rest, And this person, I don't even know what to say, like them, they, whatever.
Shim, she, him.
Yeah, was just like, I just had surgery on the bottom half, and I was like, put your clothes back on. I'm not even dealing with this at all. And we get to the yard, and then they had to have like medical come down to do the thing, the strip out, because same thing. And medical said something like, yeah, there's like some form of a penis down there. I don't know what. And I was like, well, I'm glad I didn't look. Anyway, like 2 weeks later, this person was in SEG. Of course, can't be around anybody else, whatever situation's going on. But this person it went all the way up to the governor, and this person got transferred to SBWCC. Or not SBW, but Pocatello.
Is that the one that beat some other chick?
No,
afterward?
totally different person.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know what the heck happened here or what's going on, but I had to write paperwork on that because then they wanted to know like why I didn't do a strip out or why I didn't say anything, and like trying to turn it on me, and I'm like, I'm not gonna even go down this
Kind of like
policy.
when you boil a hot dog too much and it splits open.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what's going. I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm not looking, because whatever. I've done plenty of strip outs where the dude took off his bra, and I was like, whatever. If you want to do whatever you want to do,
There
but
was
I'm
one,
still.
there was one, I don't remember if it was you or somebody else, but did the strip out on one. And they basically put, like, the guy had his junk basically duct taped to, like, a strip of duct tape, basically up his ass crack to hold his wiener back. Like, where did you get duct tape at?
It's like
That's the first question. Where'd you get duct tape?
Yeah.
a lot of them use like the string and then the cellophane ball and tuck it up their ass. That's how they tuck everything back.
Ugh.
Those are weird when you have to make them cough that out. Then everything flops down like a bologna sandwich. Jeez, dude.
I don't think I ever had that.
Yeah, that's disturbing when you run across those.
No, all the other transgender ones were either super quiet or like really needy. They either don't talk or they like
There's no middle ground for
always-
those.
No, they like need something because of this or because of that.
Or they have to be extra to prove
Right,
that they're a
yeah.
woman. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I don't in the policy to state where you put them on the bus. I don't remember.
I think whatever they're brought into intake as is where you put them. So if they're like, even if they want to identify as female, if they're assigned male, like when they get to whatever jail that they're at, when we pick them up, it was wherever.
That's where they-
You're still a
yeah,
male.
I
Guess
don't
what? You're sitting
remember.
with all the dudes. But then it was like almost more of a hassle because then you had every
Right.
dude that wasn't gay when they got on the bus now seeing this thing looks like a chick and now they're gay. So like,
Yep.
never fails.
It's not gay if it's for the stay.
Yeah, gay for the stay. Yep.
Yeah.
Not gay when you get in, not gay when you get out, but you're gay for the stay.
I don't know. Most of the dudes were cool. I had no.
Only time I
Really
ever had
no
issues was when they
issues.
were coming back from St. Anthony, because then they were upset that they got rolled or whatever.
Oh, yeah. And seeing, I never had. I found that like obviously you can joke around with people and you like respect and give respect. Like most people are dope. Like I had no issues. And 9 times out of 10 they're gonna have issues with other people rather than us. So.
Did you guys have a playlist that you would play?
Dude, I still have a prison bus playlist.
I still
For
have
my
mine,
job,
yeah.
I still have a prison bus playlist, and I play it every time that I drive the bus still.
Yeah, I would always within like 20 minutes. I had it lined out. I finally ended up on Motley Crue's "Home Sweet Home," right, and it would be like right on the course when we would pull in. It was the best.
I had one like that too.
I always played Locked Up by Akon. Right
Yeah.
when I roll. I still play Locked Up by Akon when I roll past towers, right into the fence line.
I had the Folsom Prison Blues, Locked Up, the Coolio song, Gangster's Paradise.
Mama Tried is one of my favorite ones. Turning 21 in prison, doing life without parole. That's one of my favorite prison bus songs.
Whenever I take a bus full of women, we would do the Orange is the New Black theme song, Going Up the Hill.
So dumb.
That's a nice part. Not having to deal with any women as far as female inmates go. That's a nice part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that the nice thing about transport, as I've said, well, I've never said it publicly before, but that's the only time I've ever been to an Idaho casino was while I was on the clock. That was funny.
We just talked about it, but never did it.
Yeah, we had to go get transport, or we had to take a whole van full of property down to St. Anthony, and my sergeant calls me up. He's like, "Hey, can you do this on a Thursday?" And I was like, "Yeah, as long as I could pick who I get to go with." He's like, "Who you want to go with?" And I was like, "So and so." And he's like, "All right, that's fine. Make sure he can do it." And so I called him up. I was like, "Hey, dude, you wanna go to St. Anthony with me tomorrow?" He's like, "Yeah." So we go down to St. Anthony, and on the way down there, we pull over at that Fort Hall Casino. I put $100 on a spin for roulette. Put on black, whatever. It hit. We went and got some lunch at the buffet. I paid for his lunch, and then we went and played some blackjack in and out in like an hour, and it was fun.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And I've never been to one off the clock though, so sorry.
I can't think of anything I've done. At the agency I'm at now, I went to a Patriots game, sort of on the clock, and then went to a bunch of Harley dealerships on the clock. But that was about it. That was all back east.
We were just going in there for breakfast. We were just trying to get our breakfast in, and it just happened to be a casino.
Well, yeah.
It's not against policy
No.
to get breakfast.
No.
I mean, I've bought scratch-off tickets before just going into a gas station. I mean, you're still gambling, right? So it's just higher
That's
stakes
true.
is all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about how you can ride it.
Exactly.
Hopefully, you don't check your mail for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah. It was nice. Towards the end there is when ChatGPT started coming out, and I had it start writing me my reports. Like when I had to write my
Hell
crash
yeah,
report.
dude! I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
I wasn't out when we were there.
You could just tell ChatGPT, write me an information report, and it will spit it out exactly like you need it to, too. Like, I'll write my rough draft. I'll just, like, talk into my phone and say what happened, and then I'll just copy and paste that into ChatGPT, and I'll say, like, write me an information report, and then I'll just make a couple tweaks to it and copy and paste.
I remember there was
I don't
one.
remember that now.
One
Dude, I
time-
did it all the time after that. Then once I started working on the yard, and I had to do like all my R&E stuff, and I never had like a use of force or any kind of just information report. I would write it up on my phone real quick, have it write me an information report. I put it in my Google Notes so I could pull up Google Notes on my work computer, copy and paste.
Fuck, dude. I'm
There
living
was
behind the
a-
times now. Like,
There was one time where we took some inmates to the county here, and in intake where they have like the property hooks.
I remember this.
Were you there?
I saw the video of it afterwards.
Okay, so the guy that normally did the intake, or I don't know if he was a sergeant or not.
I don't remember who he was, but it was a female deputy working that
Correct.
corner when
Yes,
that happened. Yeah.
He liked the property in alphabetical order. So I'm like moving property, and they have these sharp like property hooks where they would hang property from. And I basically came up and I hit the back of my head on the property hook, and it just started gushing blood. Like I was like, oh shit. And I didn't really like realize it. And then the female deputy came over and she's like, oh, like you need to go into like this medical room. So then got bandaged up or whatever, went back to the yard, and they made me write an IR. And literally like I don't remember who the shift command was at the time, but our sergeants weren't there because it was after hours.
Yeah.
And I wrote the IR, turned it in. Oh, you got to do it this way. Like, okay, write it. Oh, actually, we want you to change it. It literally took me
Which they can't
an
do.
hour and a half to write this freaking thing, and I'm already like 13 hours in on this day, and I'm like, dude, what do you like? I'm fine. I'm not gonna go to the hospital. I don't want work comp. Like, you want me to spend an hour and a half on top of my 13 hours to do this stupid information report?
But we don't want you to accrue overtime.
Correct. Yeah. We're gonna need you to be off the clock on this one. Yeah. Ridiculous.
That was a wild thing, is always being told to rewrite it.
right.
Yeah, like, okay, it goes before a judge. It's like, oh, my sergeant told me I had to rewrite it.
Yeah,
Like-
that holds up.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Yeah, they always got kicked back. I just sent it to my sergeant first before I even turned it in. I was like, I know you're gonna make some adjustments to this, so yeah. And sometimes he would just make the adjustments for me, and I was like, oh, that's like sweet. He's like, go ahead and sign this. I was like, perfect.
Jeez.
But so what do you? I know you can't go into, but what's some cool stuff that you have to deal with now?
So like where I'm at now, we do a lot of air ops. So we fly armed to go pick up inmates or parolees or like arrestees in different states. So like when I said I went to a Patriots game, I found out it was like the Thursday before. I found out I was flying back east to pick up a dude, and I looked, and the Patriots happened to be playing the Giants like in Foxborough, Patriot Stadium. So we flew armed, because when you fly armed, you fly just like this in civilian clothes. You just have a badge that goes underneath your shirt, and then your gun is tucked underneath your shirt, and that like you fly.
Commercial?
Yeah, commercial, just
really?
like regular. There's a process like when you get to the check-in counter, you got to show them your ID and all of your credentials from like your state's police force and everything else, saying that this guy can fly armed. You can't do it like on the off time. Like you can't go fly with your family and still carry. It's only for like work purposes. But then once you show your credentials, they take you through a back door where TSA and like a local police guy will meet you, and then they like look at all your credentials while you're filling out a logbook, and then they pretty much kick you. Like when you fly through Boise, they just like take you to the side, and then they just pop you out on the other side of all the TSA lines. Like you just blend in with everybody else.
That's better than pre-check.
Yeah, then but you're armed running through the airport. But then when you go to get on, you can't board with everybody else. You have to like pre-board. So you go to like the ticket counter wherever whatever agency, like flight, commercial flyer that you're with. Show them who you are, your badge and everything, and then they have like a separate boarding pass that says like notice of armed passenger that you give to the captain. And you meet the captain, and usually he'll tell you like, hey, we may have a marshal or another law enforcement agency's bringing people on, and they'll tell you where to sit. But like half the captains I've flown with are all armed. Like I think people would be surprised how many people are like flying around, how many captains are flying around with guns. Because it's like, I would say probably half the flights I've been on, the captain and first officer are both armed. Like it's usually them that are armed, and then whatever like air marshals or state police people have people on board as well. But flew back east, went to a Patriots game. Anytime you fly across the Mississippi, you have to have a day off paid. So the next day I went to like the Boston Tea Party Museum, a bunch of like cool shit on the clock. And then the next day picked up the guy from like Rhode Island or Delaware or some shit, flew him to some place in the Midwest, dropped him off, and then spent another night, and then flew home again. But all of it's armed. All of it is in civilian clothing. Nobody
What's it like
knows.
flying with the inmate?
It's pretty interesting because once again, the civilians in inmate clothing are in civilian clothing too. So we have like a getup. It's usually like just regular old blue jeans and like tennis shoes, and then it's a special hoodie that you have, and it's the restraint style is called like marshalling them. So you get rid of the black box and you have handcuffs, but you run the chain through the handcuffs so their hands are here the whole time. They can't really lift up. It's not like belly chains run on the side. They're like this. And we have a hoodie that we run him through. So the whole time his hands, the dude just looks like he's walking around with his hands in his pocket in a hoodie. And we don't like maintain control of him. We just walk with him. So if you're like walking through the airport, it just looks like three dudes walking around the airport. Meanwhile, there's two armed officers and one inmate, and you just blend in with the rest of the public. But there's times where, like, of course, he's got to eat, right? And it's not like TSA is going to give you a separate room. You just got to eat with everybody else. They can't talk to the public. So, like, one time we took this dude and we asked him, like, you hungry? He goes, yeah, man, I'd love some civilian food for once. So we got him, like, Subway. And we told him you can't talk to the public. Well, the fucking sandwich lady's, like, asking him stuff. And he would, like, tell the other officer. And then the other officer and the lady's just looking at us weird. And I'm like, dude, just tell the lady what you want so it's not so fucking awkward. Because there's, like, 10 people behind us. Well, there's, like, 10 people behind us, like, watching. It's like, why is this guy, like, afraid to talk to women or something? But as we're getting ready to eat, we, like, take him off to, like, a table where there's nobody else. And, of course, we get to that table, then everybody decides they're going to go sit by that fucking table, too. So we're trying to, like, covertly take the handcuff out. And, like, as soon as he's done eating, puts his handcuff, we go to put the hand, like, back in there. And somebody heard the click, and the dude turned around and goes, oh, I know what that is. So it's cool because you get to do stuff like that. You get to fly around, see the country while still doing your job. So that's probably my favorite part. I've been on 2 of those. So all of them across the Mississippi. So day off in whatever state I'm in. So
That's cool. We went to Montana to pick up an inmate, and there's a kind of like how we have a state thing. They have the same thing, but they're like driving to Florida, and they're just driving everywhere to pick up their people. So
like with the flying thing, if we get somewhere and that dude's like, hey, I don't want to fly. I have this thing against flying. So now it's like we get in a rental car, and one officer's driving, and one officer sits behind the driver, and then the inmate's chained up in the like rear passenger seat. And we're just driving 5 days back. So that's why I usually tell them, like, look, if you don't want to fly, we're going to find these shittiest little jail cells to put you in for the next 5 days if you don't want to fly. It's like, you're going to get fucked, dude. No, thankfully. Because they don't want to be on a 5-day drive either, because they know that they're going to be getting the shittiest jail food. I'm not buying them McDonald's. I'm not buying them Carl's Jr. Like, they're going to get the shittiest jail food I can find, and they're going to sit in the smallest shitholes I can find. So usually they just want to get it done and get it over with, because that means there's no TV, no property, none of that shit follows them until a week later, because you're not like walking through the airport carrying bags of fucking property. Like they get to bring a little like pack of legal work that can fit in a briefcase. They're like a satchel that then goes around them, so they're carrying their own shit. But everything else comes UPS, so they don't want to be without their property for any length of time. They'd rather fly and get it over with, maybe get some decent food somewhere. So they just want to get it done with, for the most part.
Yeah, those were the best inmates whenever you had to take, like, we did a couple hospital runs in Utah, and then we would stop and get them food, like an In-N-Out or something. Mm-hmm. And they would not say a word. That was the quietest you'd ever have them.
Yep.
Like, you be quiet, dude. We'll get you in and out. Because then your sergeant tells you, like, you got to get them the same as you would have at their lunch. So you have to get them a sandwich, a drink, a cookie. So then you get them a burger, a fries, and a shake, or not a shake, but some kind of a dessert, and then a drink, and then they just shut up.
We just have a state credit card, and they told us, like, there's no limit, so whatever he wants. So I tell them, like, hey, whatever you want, dude, the state's paying for it. So then they want, like, Texas Roadhouse, and it's like, oh, I'm not letting you have a fucking knife out in the public, my guy, so you're looking at fast food.
Yeah.
But, no, for the most part, it's been a real trip working for this agency. I love it compared to IDOC. IDOC had its own cool parts, but nothing beats flying arm, dude. Like, it's such a weird feeling. Now flying, like, regular with my family, I'm like, dude, this blows. Like, I got to wait till be the last one on the plane. And then, like, this last flight, we kind of got fronted off by the pilot because you're supposed to pre-board with all the flight attendants and everything. So you go on, you get on the plane, you go to the pilot and, like, hand him all your identification shit and then that boarding pass. It's like a notification of armed flyer. And when we did that, the pilot wasn't there yet. It was just the flight crew. So we're standing at the end of the bridge, like right before you get on the plane. And they're like, well, we're going to go ahead and start boarding. And there's still no pilot. And that's like super taboo in like the air industry. So then all these people that were standing up waiting to get on get to see these two schmucks standing at the very end of the fucking bridge. And they're all like passing us by. And we're standing there with our like all of our documents. Like they don't know who we are. There's no badge out. We're just like standing there. So they get on, and then like another 20 minutes goes by, still no pilot. And the first officer comes up. He's like, yeah, I'm armed, but you'll have to wait for the pilot for your notifications. I'm like, oh, okay. So we're like still waiting there. And it was like a half hour went by. Finally, the pilot showed up with like a big old McDonald's frappe. He's like, sorry, guys, I'm a little late. So he goes and gets on the plane, and we like hand him all of our documents. And then we're like walking down. Everybody else is taking their fucking seats. We're walking down. And then the pilot's like, sorry, guys, we had to wait for a few important passengers. And everybody's like looking up at us. I'm like, and then he's like, all right, let's get underway. And then I sit next to this lady, and she's like, what made you so important to wait on the plane? I'm like, I don't know. So I guess it just happened they delayed, and then we showed up. So yeah, it's weird getting fronted off for stuff like that.
Yeah, dude, no snitching.
Oh, dude, that pilot 100%. It's like, yeah, we had to wait for some important people. The whole plane that didn't have AirPods in just looked up at us. I'm like, fuck, dude. And then we get accosted by a little old lady in Chicago. So it's same shit. Just like when I think you were with me, or maybe it was you. We were going through somewhere in eastern Idaho, and some old dude had a bottle in a brown bag, and we're driving down the boulevard, and he literally takes a drink, sees us, and flips us off as he didn't even put the bottle down. I want to say it was you, but maybe it was Tester.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he literally had a bottle, was taking a drink, mid-drink on the side of the road, broad fucking, 3 in the afternoon, flips us off as we go by on the bus. I'm like, oh, he's been on here before.
Yeah, you get to see your frequent flyers.
Oh yeah.
They recognize the bus.
Yep.
Yeah, they get flipped off. Yeah, they start, or they'll get, if they're driving, they get in front of you and slow way down or something.
Oh, yeah.
And then flip you off. And
Yep.
those are the moments where you're like, oh, I wish I had training in case this dude just starts shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sounds like you're in a better spot now.
Yeah, I love it, dude.
You're liking your gig
it
now, so
that's a fantastic gig. I'm glad I made the choice when I did. I had no certainty when I made the choice. I'm glad I jumped ship when I did. So
was it scary leaving? With making that decision?
Sort of, because when I came to DLC, I had decided that like I was probably gonna make the career into corrections. I was gonna stay in IDOC, right? Like that's where I wanted to spend my time. And then when I found out that I had a second kid on the way, and I had tried to get on with ISP, and then of course, like as soon as ISP sees any IDOC people, they're just like, "Oh, let me close this book." Like the hiring process was total shit once they figured out I worked for IDOC. I'm like, "Yeah, all right, no surprise." And then this other place was like, "Hey, you should apply here." So I went and applied there and got on, and right when I was like kind of in the thought of like, "Oh, I don't want to move, I don't want to change," like because we liked the Boise area, we didn't want to move away from here. And then when, like I said, when they did that when they brought all those inmates out to the military complex, did the Golden Corral bullshit and then started housing officers out there, and then they magically didn't have enough money for hazard pay and per diems, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, no, I thought it was a great move. I tried to convince other people to do the same thing, and they wanted to stay. They didn't want to. They want to leave. So I mean, to each their own. But
Yeah, I
Kept
know
trying to
Scott
get me to go
regrets
out.
leaving.
I kept
but-
trying to get you to go out there so bad, dude. So, but if I had to be inside, because like when I went to where I'm at now, I was inside for 18 months, and then they had spots open up on transport, and that's like legit retirement gig. Like dudes do 20 years and still hoping to get out there. And when I told people, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to put in for that. And I'm like, oh, it's a good interview experience, but you're not fucking get on. And then I got on. I'm like, oh, you're a fucking piece of shit. I'm like, you didn't even try. Like,
Yeah, that's half the game.
if you don't try, like,
Well, you're still a piece of shit, but
yeah, well, fuck you.
Checks out.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I love it out there. That's great. Can't complain.
Yeah. Scott, you regret leaving, don't you? I know
do.
you've been like trying to nip at the bud to get back out. So
Yeah, but after this podcast, I won't be allowed to
Yeah.
work out there anymore.
yeah, that's what I've been told. I'm never able to get back out at IDOC, but
No, to be completely honest, like I thought it was fun.
I miss days out there.
I never had any like crazy. I mean, there's like minor
Yeah.
stuff, but nothing like
I miss the people.
Insane.
I think the officers that we worked with, like
a select
Yeah.
few.
a select
for sure.
few.
Yeah.
There's definitely people that I don't miss, but there's a few that I wish I could like take with me and bring to where I'm at now.
Yeah, and the experience was good.
Yeah.
I think realizing that that's where I don't want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
Yeah, was it scary for you leaving?
no.
I know that you already have been doing stuff on the side, so you like kind of were able to transition a little bit easier.
My transition was kind of shitty for them because I had a lot of vacation and a lot of sick leave. I started out actually I was sick for like a week. I was like, well, screw it. I'm just going to jump ship. And then so I tried to burn as much of that time as I could.
I remember that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that one sergeant was pretty mad. He's like, "Damn it, Scott called off again, again."
You're sick?
Yeah,
Yep. Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you stay all the way through COVID?
No.
Or how much longer? Because I bailed in like August. I want to say like August of 2020.
Mine was right after you.
You were
well,
after me.
Mine was
You were like at 21, wasn't it?
No, it was October.
You went into the new year because you.
Oh
had
wait, okay,
been the
yeah.
spot.
So it was 21. So yeah, I think it was November.
Because then you
of
took his
21.
spot, right?
No, he
I
was
took-
already.
I don't remember whose spot I took, but
He,
thought you
he
left.
took Cabral's spot.
But you didn't stay much longer after me though.
I was there till
23.
23 January.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I was trying to
December of
convince you to
23.
come over with me.
Yeah.
Come over to the dark side.
Yep.
We have cookies.
Yeah, because I bid onto the East bus and I worked like 3 weeks on that and avoided that shit show because
Yeah.
you quit and then they offered it to me if I wanted to go over there and I was like, yes.
Nobody wants to be on the East bus. I can't imagine why.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like anywhere else in the prison. It's just who you work with.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can work the shittiest
Absolutely.
spot, but then if you have a solid crew, then it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It definitely paces yourself out.
exactly.
I don't
Yeah.
know. There's a select few people that are dope, but majority. It's kind of like how would you put it? Like a redheaded stepchild is a majority of people out there, both inmates and staff.
I feel like what did it for me was that everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, but 90% of everybody has a negative mindset.
Well, not just that, but like they're willing to step on toes in order to gain, get personal gain,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah, burn bridges.
I'm
just to
I'm
get
willing
themselves
to
in a
burn
better
bridges
position.
Yeah.
to promote or do,
And the hard part about that is that like transport's not a secure position every year. Like you have to rebid, so you could burn all those bridges, lose that spot that you've been in cush life for 4 years, and you burned all your bridges with everybody else, and you got to go back inside with all the people that you
Right.
pissed off or self-sacrificed for, whatever you want to call it.
Well, and what's funny is that a lot of the people that were inside were like, "Oh, it's such a cush spot," and like, yeah, okay, maybe it is a cush spot on one day a week, but like
There's
the
some
other
shit days.
the other 3 days, I'm working 16 hours each day.
Yeah.
Like,
The cush spot made it the weekends off, is what
right?
benefited
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, when I went back to work the yard, I was it was actually a lot less stressful than some of the days on the bus. I mean, the bus was pretty chill, but like when they added on stuff to you, or you had
For
longer
sure.
days, or some people weren't working with you, or you had bus breakdowns or whatever. But like when I was an RNE on the yard, it was pretty chill. So yeah, they don't. I mean, there's positives and negatives to everything, but yeah, you're not secure. I was surprised when I was in Cassia County. Was it Cassia? Yeah, whatever, that one in Burley, right? Cassia.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was in there and I got a call from our sergeant. He's like, "You didn't get back on transport next year," and I was pretty shocked because I thought CDL meant like you're good.
Well, no, because you were saying that you were planning on leaving anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, that was like I had said that for like 2 years prior, but still, they said that I didn't get it back because I was on cert, and then I only put in for the Tuesday through Thursday spots because I wanted Mondays off, and they said that at that time it was cert was every Wednesday, or not every Wednesday, but every other Wednesday was their
Yeah.
trainings. So like you would have to miss 2 of your Wednesday, Thursday trips a month. So that's why they didn't put me on there, and I was like, well, that makes sense. I just didn't want to do the North Run again. I wanted to switch it up and go east, but yeah, so they kicked me off, and then everybody else is all waiting. Like the people I was with, they're like waiting to get a call because they're like thinking that everything was going to get mixed up, and I was the only dude that got kicked off.
Well, I remember when they brought it was now a division instead of just a post.
Bureau.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or a bureau, whatever. They're like, oh yeah, everybody, once you're in, you're in. We want to keep everybody together, just because they take so much time and money to train these people. And then all of a sudden, it's like within the last like 5 years, it's turned over.
Yeah, I don't recognize
bunch.
if I see them out in the public. I don't recognize anybody because I
I
still
flip
come
them
across
off,
a lot
regardless of who they are.
of them. I don't go that far, but yeah, no, I don't
just kidding, I
recognize.
don't.
I don't recognize a single one of them. Like I went in to go get Brown asked me for challenge coins at where I work at now, so I brought him a bunch of challenge coins, and I only recognized Brown and Tester. Dude, I didn't recognize anybody, and I think you were still there maybe. But dude, that was it. No, I did not recognize a soul that was sitting in that building, except for Davis, because Davis has been there on transport forever.
Davis.
I think her first name Jessica Davis, something like that. I can't remember what her, but she's been on tour or not. What is it? ISCC.
Oh, okay.
She came over from ISCC's transport at some point.
It's not Davis, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Dude, it's been long enough. I don't remember names. I
don't-
remember
half the
faces
people
because I
I
see them
don't-
out in the
yeah.
public sometimes. Like, oh, that's so and so, but
Yeah,
I don't remember names. So
yeah, that was good though. I liked it. I'm glad it served a purpose. A lot of downtime on that North Run. Read a lot of books. Started to stop being a shitbag in my life. So
no service in those canyons. That's why.
yeah,
exactly.
There's only so much music you can listen to, and you're like, all right, let's put a podcast on, or let's put on a book, or whatever. The same playlist over and over again gets boring. But, and then what are you doing? You like your gig now. You're good.
I do.
Glad that you left. You're still on transport-ish, on the road. You're still on the
I
road.
drive around all day.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad I left. I was getting burnt out, and
What are you, a dump truck driver?
nope. I drive around and fix road signs,
I don't know what that means.
like your stop signs.
Oh,
your street
road signs.
road
Oh.
signs.
All right.
That's what I do. But yeah, I was getting burnt out. I just going home angry all the time, and like you sit in the back by yourself, and you're just listening to all their stupid ass stories, and you're like, just shut the fuck up, man. I'm like,
I don't know.
Sometimes they have some funny
I
stories.
don't
but
know
They
how
do.
many guys are multimillionaires that own
Oh,
a bunch of
yeah.
property. Like, there's like at least 100 of them
Yeah.
in prison right now.
Well, then you always have the tour guides too when you're on the bus. Like some inmates have been on that
Yep.
trip for so
Oh,
long.
yeah.
Oh, it's fucking St. Anthony's work camp. So and so
Yeah.
been there. I'm like, that's fucking tour guides, dude.
that's where I fucked that one chick.
Yep, that Maverick right
Yeah.
there, right behind that Maverick. I used to sell drugs, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Got arrested there.
Yep, tour guides.
I'm glad I'm off of it though.
Yeah.
It's been
So if the road signs like you're saying like a street sign,
Mhm.
and so like if it's kind of like worn out, then
Yeah.
you'll go replace it.
Yeah.
What do you do with the old ones?
goes in the recycle bin.
Oh, really?
Recycle bin.
Okay.
If you
Well,
come across
if it's
mile
a
marker
good one.
420, let me know.
Actually, before I left ITD, I made a couple, so I might have an extra one for you.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, there ain't much 420s around there. They try to.
I noticed some states do like
420,
419 and 7/8
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
Colorado was a big one on that one. They kept getting that sign stolen
Yeah,
all the time.
Colorado, Oregon, Washington.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Oh. I can't think of any more interesting stories that I have that I'm willing to mention on air
Yeah, no kidding.
in fucking public. But yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really have. I don't know. A lot of stuff like people ask for stories all the time, and I'm just like, nothing really.
How do you feel about assholes?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I never found anything doing strip outs. You guys ever find anything doing strip outs?
I
Yeah.
had a dude cough out a marble one time, like a glass marble.
Really?
Yeah, it was Adams County at in council. This dude went to squat down in that shower, and I heard a tick, and I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" And it was a glass marble with that little green wavy thing in it. I made the dude throw it out. I'm like, "What are you doing with that in there?" He's like, "Well, I found it. I just thought it was really cool." And I'm like,
Kegel exercises.
"Dude," I'm like, "Why would anybody want to keep a glass marble up there of all things?" But yeah, that's the only thing I've ever seen on a strip out.
Yeah, I never found anything. You said you found something?
Yeah. Like the battery straps for the tattoo guns.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't physically like up there, but
Had a wedge between it.
yeah.
Oh, wild.
Yeah. Yeah. There would always be like someone that doesn't wipe good enough or like still has some toilet paper in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
The dude with the hemorrhoid that pops out when he coughs.
Oh.
Oh, dude.
I've had that a few times.
Yeah. I don't count
Or
that as a
have-
find because it's been there a while.
Or you get the ones that still have toilet paper stuck in there because of the hemorrhoids bleeding.
He's
you
got
know,
a
whatever.
medical exemption to keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
disturbing.
there was this one time I did a strip out on this dude, and I mean, no homo, but I was like, this guy had the biggest dong I've ever seen on anyone, and I told my partner, I was like, dude, in the least gay way possible, you've got to do a strip out. I'm going to take him over the yard.
So there's a short, skinny guys that have a fucking hammer on them.
Yeah.
Get it, dude.
But this guy was like,
yeah, they are.
Yeah.
you're short and skinny. I've been to Vegas with you. I know you're lying.
I've seen the truck he drives. It's not very big.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I remember. So I stripped this dude out, little midget dude, and I mean, this thing's like down to his knee, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I told the dude, I was like, dude, no homo, but when we get over the yard, help them out and strip this dude out. It's like the eighth wonder of the world. You gotta go.
You'll thank me later.
Yeah. He's like, all right, and he goes and strips him out. He's like, dude, I'm glad I seen that in the least gay way possible. That thing's crazy. I'm telling you, dude. And then that inmate always was, apparently he was a porn star on the streets or whatever, did his own stuff, but he would always joke about it. I guess he could fight. He was a scrapper. That's why he got into the fight over at Cap and then came back over. But I was like, holy shit. And then that was his thing, dude. He was a porn star on the streets.
You hear Jerry's phone make the.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit. But yeah, that was about the craziest thing I ever found.
I remember when we were still ICC intake, and you had to take pictures of all the tattoos and everything, and you had this one guy that had his tattoo or his dick tattooed. Well, we had an officer that decided to take a picture of it because you're taking pictures of all
It's
all
policy.
tattoos.
It's
Yeah, it's
policy.
policy.
Yeah. Read your policy.
Read your policy.
Well, he learned the hard way. You're not supposed to do that. One of them growing tattoos.
What are the ones?
Interesting.
What's
Yeah.
the piercing called? Prince
Oh,
Harry.
the Prince Albert?
Prince Albert, I think,
Prince
is where
Albert.
it goes through
Yeah,
the
they
I
would
head.
do
saw a
that
bunch
themselves.
of those.
Yeah, they would
Yeah.
do that themselves. They'd cut themselves open, put like a bead in their skin, and then seal it back up.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of those get infected.
Yeah.
Yeah, disgusting.
They
I always
deserve it at
wondered,
that
like,
point.
the guys that got their dick tattooed, is he holding his dick to get tattooed, or is
Right,
he having
yeah.
the
I've
artist
seen,
hold
I've seen
their
a lot of
dicks,
dick
or-
tattoos in the last 2 years. I don't know if it's become a thing or more dudes with dick tattoos are just getting arrested, but there's a lot of dick
correlation.
tattoos. Dude,
Oh,
it
for
is
sure.
like
Oh, you got a dick tattoo? You got a rap sheet. Okay.
COVID
yeah.
and dick
Get
tattoos.
it
I
out.
don't know what the fuck happened, but ugh.
Yeah, they always, what was like a money sign one? They're like, I'm going to put money in your mouth or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Or the dictionary is like, put some words in your mouth or something. Gosh.
That's
So
dumb.
clever. I always wanted to know, though, who's holding it. I mean, and that'd be a terrible place. I've seen a lot of people get infected tattoos. Imagine getting an infected tattoo on your dick.
Yeah.
Well, if they got it in prison, I can tell you who's holding it. It wasn't him. It was his buddy. There was one guy, I can't remember who somebody else and myself had to transport him, but we took him to the hospital because he got like aggressively fellacioed by another dude. He had bite marks all up and down it. Yeah, that was the only time I'd seen like one aggressively chewed up. Looked like a thing of hamburger had split open on the end. I'm like, oh.
Did you ever see that video of that dude in ISCC?
Instantly change.
They're going to chow or something, so his whole tier gets called out chow. He's like right under the freaking camera in his thing, and just starts jerking off his celly. He's like, apparently stopped doing it, so he's like, and he like acts like he's frustrated. He gets down, and just starts blowing him, and they're just, and then they just go to the lunch like it's to chow like it's nothing.
Yep.
Dude, I missed this. When did this happen?
Remember that?
I do remember that.
I was like, holy shit! Like just acted like it was nothing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, crazy.
Yep. When you get a chance, you gotta do it, I guess.
Yeah, equal opportunity.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, dude, I'd never heard about this. That's wild.
Yeah, that's more than gay for the state.
I mean,
Didn't someone get in trouble for playing "Prison Bitch" on the bus? That song.
I don't remember.
I know I got talking to you for playing Afro Man on the prison bus.
I don't think I ever got talked to about
I never got
music.
talked to. I was waiting for it because I always was pushing the limits there. But the Prison Bitch one, I knew you couldn't play because somebody got talked about. It was like a Bob and Tom Prison Bitch song.
It sounds like something Jerry would do.
I don't know who it was, but I remember they're like, "Do not play that song." I'm like, all right.
On the north-south run, there was a lot of Madonna and Journey. Journey and Madonna. Not from my phone either. From
There was
our
a
boy.
what was it, Old Kentucky Rain or something like that by Elvis. Seemed like when I told Tessa, I'm like, dude, you got to stop playing that. You're about to throw your phone out the fucking bus. You play that song again. It wasn't him that was playing it, it was somebody else, but no. Yeah, no, I got talking to you because I had Colt 45 by Afro Man on, and somebody somewhere heard it and lost their mind, and that was the only time I got talking to you. That was from Nimmo. You can't play that on the bus. That's inappropriate. And I'm like, half the shit we play on this fucking bus is inappropriate, and that's the song they pick?
Yeah. I thought I was going to get talking to about the Orange is the New Black theme song.
No, they like that.
Some of the girls were like, that's fucked up. And I was like, it's pretty funny.
Well,
Yeah.
you know.
Did you guys ever have the chicks that would pee their pants and then not say anything and just walk off the bus? And
We actually had one. There's two situations where we had a guy shit himself.
Oh, it was falling out of his jumpsuit.
Yeah, yeah. And then that was gross. And then we had one chick that she had allergies or something, and every time she sneezed, she would like pee herself. And so, but she didn't say anything until we got to where we were going. And she got up, and it was like just a pool of piss. It was disgusting. So yeah.
I've seen a lot of guys that would come off of their lunch bag and it would just be full of piss.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
They needed to put bathrooms on the back of that bus for that reason.
Yeah. Remember, we used to just give them puke bags if they had to go really bad, and we could try and help them, but...
Like, what else are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
All of our buses have
like,
bathrooms in the back.
Piss yourself, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't know what to tell you.
There's a hole drilled in your seats for a reason.
Yeah, no kidding. There were a couple times where, like, the guys would be up front, and it would be at, like, the end. Because if you would skip, Adams County, sometimes, if you didn't have to stop.
Yeah, that's like a 5-hour drive all the way to Cottonwood.
So, like, hey, do you guys want to just hammer down and go all the way up, right? And everybody's like, yeah. And
Except for one guy's like, I gotta go, dude.
Well, then it's like we would start hammering down, and then at the end of, the 5 hours, you'd, like, start to tap on the brakes, and you would just see, like, liquid just start running up underneath the doors. Up to the front, like the steps. And you're like, oh my goodness.
That was always hard because with like the consensus was like nobody wanted to stop because everyone just wants to get where they're going.
Right, yeah.
But there's always like the one or two dudes that are like afraid to speak up.
Correct, yeah.
And then that's what you see rolling under doors is that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to put bathrooms in the back of those. It's not hard, just have an inmate clean it.
Who were we with
that's what
when
they're
we
for.
had that? We had a pretty big medical emergency. Some old guy had like a stroke or something. It was on the bus, and I don't remember if
I want
it
to say
was
it was me, you, and Tester.
Probably.
The
Yeah.
dude, some guy started falling out mid-drive.
Yeah. That was sketchy as hell too.
I remember Jerry telling me about one time they had a dude that needed to get life flighted out of Adams County. They had an emergency and they stopped in Adams County and he got life flighted from. Jerry was on the flight with them from Adams County to St. Al's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the bus pulled over and life flight had to come get him. That'd be a crazy day.
That's nuts. Some of the stuff, like when we were in Unit 7, there was some guy that had a heart attack and died, but when they called, they ran, CPR until the paramedics got there, and then the paramedics brought in what do you call it? It's like an automatic CPR machine where they just hook it up, and you watch it, and this thing, like, their chest caves in like this freaking far.
Yeah,
about puked. I was like,
yeah, they're cracking. If you're not cracking ribs, you're not doing it right.
yeah,
right? Yeah.
Like, I don't ever want to do CPR.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you live out after that, I mean, it's gonna suck for a few weeks.
No
Yeah, it is.
kidding.
I mean, it's better than being dead, I guess. But
There's some guys in there that I'm like, how are you not dead? Like, you're just
There's a few cockroaches, yeah.
like, wow. Just don't understand it.
The thing that always blew me away is when you'd get dudes from the streets that had like a laundry list of medical problems, and then they would get into like intake, and then intake would be like, oh my gosh, we have to fix this guy. He's had like a broken leg for 4 years. I'm like, yeah, because he's high on meth. Like,
Right. He doesn't
Now-
even know his leg's broken.
yeah,
Like,
and it's like now it's the state's responsibility to
Right.
fix this dude's broken leg. Like,
yeah, it's crazy. They go in, they get like open heart surgeries. It's like $15 copay that they got to pay off their books.
Yep.
yeah. Meanwhile, they're like living under a bridge before they even showed up.
Yeah. Yeah, if you need any big medical procedures, just do some kind of small felony. And
No, we would never ever recommend committing a felony to get free medical insurance. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Or just go to like a liberal state, you'll be fine. Go to Canada, whatever. They got free health care. You have to
There you
wait a
go.
year to get into the doctor's office, but it's free. Yeah.
there were a couple times at max intake where we had some use of forces that right in the strip out cages. And that shit gets tight too.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you have 2 or 3 people in there, like you're not moving.
Yeah, I felt bad. We did that one time. We had to pick up like 2 close custody guys and then a couple guys from Max to go to the yard. And so I took the 2 guys from my MSI and put them on the bus that were close custody.
Yeah.
And I sat on the bus with them. And then my partner, that was just pretty new to transport, was doing the medium security guy. And he was going to put the restraints around him, and that dude just turned around and took off on him.
Really?
In the small
Yeah.
little holding cell area, yeah. And luckily there was a sergeant right there and intervened, but the guy got a couple shots off before, and he went to the hospital and he was fine. But yeah, I was like, and
Yeah.
the sergeant comes out, he's like, it's gonna be a while. Your officer just got assaulted, and I'm like, what?
Jeez.
Yeah, that same kind of thing is where like they start to come off the wall, and then you know you obviously give them a command, and they don't listen, then you just basically push up against them.
Yeah,
I think I had like 2 or 3 of them. Dykes was with me a couple times on those ones.
yeah.
The ones that always sketched me out was when we got back to the yard at the end of the day and you're hooking everybody. But like people would start on the end and
Right.
work all the way
yeah.
to the end.
Yeah.
And I brought that up to I think Tester and Nemo at one point. And I'm like, hey,
We should start
like,
in the
yeah, we
at
should start at the
in
very
middle,
back and work our way
then-
out.
Yeah.
And like, but this is the way we've always done it. I'm like, that is a fucking terrible way to do it. Because then you're
Right.
at the back, loaded down with restraints, and you've got like, what, 25, 30 dudes that are pissed off after being on the bus all day.
Well, and you
and
have-
you're loaded down with
You
chains.
have all these guys that haven't been classified yet.
Yes.
And you have 30, 40 guys that are sometimes 46 dudes that are literally sitting in, the tank unrestrained. Like, and then you're stuck in the middle of them.
in the very back of them,
Sketchy as
loaded
fuck.
down with restraints, too.
Yeah.
That was the worst thing to hear too. Is like, we've just always done it like this. You're like, are we
It's not the best
we're
way
not
to
gonna-
do it.
No.
We're not going to want to change it, or like,
Read your policy.
yeah. Like, well,
Now, and this is by no means like a jab at IDOC, but like now being where I've been at for so long, and like looking back on the mistakes that, and well, in my opinion, what are mistakes, and how easy it would be to rectify that just by changing the wordage of policy to like fix that, you would increase officer safety and inmate safety tenfold by just changing
For
how
sure.
things are written. But
Yeah.
they're like, that's an act of God to change that. But it's like,
like what?
so like with putting restraints on, like having them turn around facing the wall, but then you're not doing it one person, you're putting restraints on like 20 dudes all at once. But then once again, you're starting in the front because that's the way it's always been done. And by the time you're in the back, yeah, you have more guys in restraints, but now you're putting yourself at a situation where, because at least when we were doing it, it was always the females.
But then on the yard or anywhere else, you can't walk somebody restrained next to somebody else that's unrestrained.
Yeah,
right?
But then
So it doesn't make any sense.
But then you flip the script and you're like, oh, well, they're all going to get restrained, so we'll just start on the one. And it's like, yeah, but now you're hooking up dudes, so you hooked up the one. If he's got an issue with the next guy, and now you left that guy completely free to do whatever he wants to the guy that you just finished hooking up, because you're hooking dudes up in a room full of unhooked people. Mm-hmm. So it's just stuff like that where there's better security practices, in my opinion, that could be implemented just from looking back at like what I've done to change that, and that nobody wanted to hear about it. Like, for instance, putting like just a simple loop in the back of the jumpsuit to run the belly chains through. That way they couldn't slip them down.
Right.
Because when I brought that up, they're like, oh, they'll just tear it off. It's like, yeah, but you're going to hear that getting torn off more so than you're going to hear the chains quietly slipping off. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just a simple, quick stitch. I mean, you got, 4,000 jumpsuits? You can do that to, 200 of them to see how they do. Like, but no, that's not what's in policy. So that was always my, they never wanted to do anything that would better their security practice, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, and that's not a jab at them in any way.
So a lot of times it's just reactive than proactive.
Yes.
How was CERT though, right? Because you joined
CERT was pretty
SEAL
sweet.
Team CERT. And so I don't know, did you do anything with it? Was there any sort of better training?
Oh, we had a lot of, it was like every other week we had training. So we definitely had a bunch of training, which is how it should be. If you're going to be expected to be the person that shows up when shit hits a fan, they don't call the police, they call CERT. So, but I think that a lot of the CERT practices should be implemented, especially for transport. If
That's
you're
what I'm
carrying a gun
saying.
every day, they need to have more firearms training, and especially under pressure. Because they would go and qualify for stuff, but you're not running and gunning, or you're not doing anything with an elevated heart rate or any of that. And it's not like, if shit hits a fan and you're on a transport with an inmate, you're not going to be standing steady at a steady target, being able to do your 6-step draw and everything. You're fumbling around. So I think that would be something that they could do better, is do more of inner training with CERT and stuff. That'd be good. At least learn some tactics. And I think when I was leaving, I think they were starting to implement that a little bit more, but I think they need to do at least quarterly firearms training would be good for the transport.
Then you do call them consims, but simulated simulated combatics. You've got an inmate and you're out in the public, whether it be in a hospital or on a bus or anything like that, and then shit goes south. You have other role players that show up with weapons, and you got to figure out how to get yourself out of it. Or vice versa. And there was none of that. There was no...
Or paint rounds or something.
Yeah, there was no there was no training going into it. You just took dudes from the institution, put them on a bus, and sent them on their way. Like I said, now looking back on it, there's a lot of things that they could do to improve that. And I've been gone for 5 years, so I don't know what they've done since then. Yeah. But I feel like there's a lot that could have been changed. The OC and tasers to me is a huge one. Because if you spray the bus, what happens if you got two dudes that have been on that bus before? They know the route they're going to take. They know that Riggins is far enough away from any law enforcement agencies that are in that corridor that if they do something on the bus and they get them so that way they have to spray and then they have to get everybody off the bus, then they could have families showing up, whatever, to get these dudes, to help break these dudes out. Because now they've staged an incident to where they know they have to evacuate the bus because the only options they've given them is lethal force or OC. Mm-hmm. And so if you're just beating the shit out of a dude, well, you're going to have to spray him. Yeah. So then now you have to decon the bus in the middle of Riggins. And I'm just using Riggins as a hypothetical, but they don't give anybody any other less lethal options like a taser or stun gun, whatever you want to call them, to fix that. And that was something that I brought up, and every one of them never wanted to take it higher than what I had told them. They're just like, well, it's kind of policy. It's the way it's always been. And I'm like, well, it's bad. I'm not saying give us nightclubs so we beat the shit out of dudes, but from a legality standpoint, there's so many other less lethal options you can pick that doesn't involve getting the whole bus off on the side of the fucking road where all of the public can see them. Right. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I remember when I was working there, they did have some company come out with tasers and show some different options they had, not just the taser guns, but taser rounds that you could deploy with a shotgun.
Taser 10.
yeah, just different things. And so I don't know if they were looking into that or it never went through, but they definitely did come out and do like a demonstration out of the firing range. So, because the corporal that we had was definitely a proponent. He wanted to have the less lethal options.
No.
And it just,
For some reason, I remember myself and Tester going through some sort of training for that reason, and then they never implemented shit.
yeah.
I remember. I'll text him after this, but
Yeah. Yeah, I think those blue rounds though, the paint simulated
Sim
machine
guns are
rounds
nice.
would be a great option, especially like if you're needing to do some close quarter training inside of a bus or clearing outside of the bus if you're getting outside and you need to do something. Like that was really cool when you were asked about CERT, when we went through CERT training and room clearing and we did the blue rounds. Those were
we do sim gun and con sim training once a year or
Yeah.
2 times depending if we have our version's called SWAT,
yeah.
but CERT same thing.
And it's different too than like even just shooting inside of the simulator room, like because you're it's not the same as you're actually moving and
It's different when you're wearing the full suit for like simulated rounds, like the paint rounds. You're wearing either like the paintball mask, airsoft mask, whatever, and like you never know if your situation is gonna end up using like lethal force, less lethal.
Left lethal.
Yeah, but you'll never know what you end up using in that scenario. You just know that the dudes in red suits are gonna fuck you up somehow.
yeah.
Or if you act right, then they won't. There is always a way out of it.
Yeah.
But they pretty much put you in a position where you're going to have to use some sort of force. It makes you think.
Yeah.
So
I think that's another thing too is that ground training would be a great thing that they should implement a lot more, because that's like if you go hands on, that's it's not always going to have a less lethal option or a lethal option, but you might be able to go hands on and then teach them gun control, right?
Yeah.
Like because even police officers, you have 2 police officers that show up to something, they both have a gun. It's not like one person has a gun, one doesn't. They just got to learn how to control.
communicate with each other
Yeah.
when using firearms, yeah.
So that was a part that I missed. I want to get back into jiu-jitsu, but I mean, I think that'd be good for anybody that's in law enforcement, especially if you're carrying a gun, being able to control that shit.
Anybody in this office sees that, they're going to say, like, you need to do jiu-jitsu, Tommy. And I'm like, because half my fucking office does it except for me.
He
But
needs to just hit the gym, but
nah, bro. Nah.
when
It's
are you
cold
expecting?
season. Hopefully right after this podcast, my guy.
Well, I know a guy if you want to lose some weight, but I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, thanks for coming out, guys. I appreciate it.
for sure. Thanks for having us.
Make sure, Downtown IDOC, you like and subscribe again. I just want to make sure that we get those numbers up. So if you guys want to come on too, come on down. I want to hear you guys' side of it that we don't get to see, because I'm sure there's a lot.
I don't even know who the director is even more.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it just changed. So
Yeah. Told you I wouldn't give you much this time.
yeah,
I'll give you a lot, but it'll be off air. So.
yeah. All right, I gotta pee. All right.
All right. Our tips.
Yeah, they are.